everybody. Welcome to the Thursday Night Forum. Arsenal Fan Circle here. Paul Bichero, you're all welcome, indeed. And, this is a week coming up. A win, lose, and draw week. Stan, how are you feeling about the week coming up and what we did on Monday night?
Oh, well, I mean, if you're asking me in general how I'm feeling, excuse me, I think it's a great time to be an Arsenal fan, right? An Arsenal supporter. And, I know there's people out there that still have, in their opinions, they still have maybe problems with how the club may be being run. Maybe they have a problem with some of the players that we have bought or want to sell. You can't keep everybody happy. And, there's a lot of people out there that probably, for whatever reason, have a problem with the manager that we have. But in spite of all of that, if you strip all of that away and you are just a football fan in the purest of its forms, you've got to be happy with what you're seeing from the football team at the moment. I mean, it's like FIFA. The goals are just crashing in, from all different parts of the pitch. And it's happening at just time when we're still in the thick of it with Liverpool and Man City, So I'm just saying that it's a great time to be following this club. And, I think that we should all be able to, at this moment, put maybe differences aside. And we should be able to, hand in our rifles and end the civil war, because we've got this final push. It's like a final push. And we can be that 12th man in many ways, whether it's being on social media, whether it's being in a voice in the stadium. I mean, I've supported Arsenal a long time, and I don't know what it is, but even though we had that record number of days being on top of the Premier League last season, or something like 240 days or something like that, this feels like it really is on for me. It really feels like it's within touching distance, and I just think we need all hands to the pump.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely seems more sustainable than last season. I feel like we've grown into the season, and I think I heard somebody compare Arsenal's season much like Kai Havertz, that it's grown and prospered as the season has gone on and they've gotten used to each other. Gary, New Year's Eve, we lost at Fulham, and good teams do not lose games for many months. And here we are 2 months later, 7 wins later, and Arsenal have given us a very good 2024 so far.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if this is planned or not, but whatever, like you said, whatever they did when they went away and came back has worked. I'm taking it, but I just don't understand it to some degree because, it's the same players that played those last 3 games of the year, and now and what's why is there a difference now? But I'll take it. I don't know. I if they planned it that way, cool. If it just worked out and they got, it was happy accident once again, we'll take it. If it seems to be the way of Arsenal sometimes, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't know. For me, I think it's just a more of a mentality thing than anything. So I think the mentality at the end of the year was draining, and hopefully they caught their second wind and they see this thing out, because it's not going to be easy. I mean, they've got what is it? They've got 12
9
more.
games.
9 games? I thought it
was 11 games more. Sorry.
11 games
11
more?
games to go now.
Yeah.
27 played. We got to do another 11 games now.
Yep.
After Brentford.
Plus whatever we can, we should be able to hopefully stretch out the Champions League as well. So yeah, no, like I said, I don't know, or like to know what changed. And but I'm happy to see what's changed. So
I think
everybody in the chat, Ray,
yeah,
Stan, Lawrence, yes,
BX Gunner, Michael is here, Tiger and Gunner, and Football with Brownie will have his strong opinions tonight as well. Again, Gary, but I think Gary, I heard an interview with one of the players, and they said they hit a wall after Christmas with the amount of fixtures that were coming, the amount of games that were coming, and they felt tired. The team felt tired at the time, and we got that midwinter break a good time. Maybe a game or two. Could have been a game or two before that. We would have taken that, but there you go. These things happen.
Yeah, like I said, I don't get it because they knew what they would be planning for, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we just caught a deal on YouTube or not, but I mean, sometimes keep that business in the dark, But yeah, no, I like I said, this run is going to be even more taxing than the run at the end of the year. There was nothing on the line at the end of the year, really nothing on the end, except for maybe they can extend their stay in the FA Cup, which should be on the list of things they want to do. So, yeah, he's lost his internet, and now he's probably
Well, he does live in LA, right? I didn't know it was. Obviously, it's probably South Central by the looks of things.
I guess Thursday night.
That was just strange. It was a strange thing going on in the back. It's like in the background, like something crazy happening. And the newspaper, they were reporting on the news. Yes, it's mild out here in sunny California, and in the back, you're like, what is going on?
I bet it's like, where's my cuppa? You bloody made a cup of tea, and I didn't get one. That's what it was. I got a cup of tea when I come around, right? And a McVitie's.
Sure, yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't know what happened here. I mean, he's gonna come back on. The lights are gonna be dimmed. He's gonna have that voice, the voice that you hear in the dark, like so you can conceal conceal the identity of that person in the camera. It's like it wasn't me.
Good evening, BX Gunner. Good evening, everyone. Michael's with us. Hi guys, happy Gooner here, says Michael. Indeed, we're enjoying life right now. Goals are flying in. I saw a stat similar to we're the fifth highest Arsenal team to score goals in the history of Arsenal at this stage of the season, and some of the dates, Gary, were Herbert Chapman years in the 1930s.
I think we break didn't we break a Premier League with like 5 goals scored in 5 straight away matches?
Yes. Yeah.
And we broke our streak of multiple goals in halves. I guess when you score 5 in one half, you kind of like, maybe waste all the chances you're going to get in the second half. But yeah, for me, the second half should have been players coming on hungry, and they seem to be in the same mindset as those who had played the first half. So I guess that's me being negative, I guess. I'm trying to find, we need to have depth, and those players coming on
Gary,
once in a while are going to have to help us score.
Right. I understand what you're saying. 2 of the players were regular substitutes in Trossard and Cedric. Cedric's not going to score for you.
Cedric is no.
No, you said you wanted goals, and the players coming on.
And you named Cedric? Ray.
Well, I'm trying to tell you there was 5 substitutes.
Ray.
Listen. There's 5 subs, and 3 of them were returning from long absentees of injuries. Partey, Gabriel Jesus, and Fabio, Theodore, Bagwell.
So Fabio and Trossard aren't defenders and aren't so.
See, I was respectful to Gary, and I was respectful to Stan there. His full name, Gary, is
you still said that's
Fabio Theodore
that's
Bagwell
not his name.
Vieira.
No.
Hey, when that ugly duckling becomes a swan, it's a beautiful thing indeed, Gary. A beautiful thing. And I think we've just become streetwise from last season to this season. We're the kids that can walk down the street now, and we know the dangers, and we see the dangers before they come at us. Last season we were getting mugged, and we were getting shaken down for our pocket money.
I mean, we understand it's Sheffield United, probably one of the worst teams to ever be promoted into the Premier League. I mean, they are absolutely awful. But sometimes teams have their day, and the last thing that we wanted, everyone is hammering Sheffield United and pumping them for goals. We didn't want to be that team that really struggled and maybe just got away with a or 1-0, you know, and then there's scrutiny, or we had an off day and, you know, we caused an accident for ourselves and put the ball into our own, or something like that. But we didn't. You know, we did what was expected, and we did it quite tidily as well. We done it in a very, very tidy way.
I don't. I mean, I guess I don't like that line of thought for some that you know, it's Sheffield, so you should beat them 5-6-0. No, nobody just goes. Nobody just goes out there and beats everybody. Beats the team that's supposed to beat 5-0. It doesn't happen every time.
Newcastle pumps them for 8. They've lost at 5s quite a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a common occurrence. So you don't want to be the odd one out. Be the one that you go there. You're fighting for the. You're fighting for the championship.
Game. Think about it. Yeah, but I mean,
the amazing thing is, the amazing thing is, we put 5 on them without Eddie and Kedia. You know.
Exactly.
We did it without Eddie. our hat trick hero of the season.
No, but what I was going to say, our lowest scoring game is what in this streak? What is our lowest scoring game?
In this streak against Nottingham Forest away from home. 2 goals.
Yeah.
2-1. Yep. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Lawrence getting ready for a long weekend. Maybe he'll return. We don't know. He might be allowed to come back. Moss from Hilton, Islington. There you go. Where the Gunner lads stay. That's where Moss.
I don't think Lawrence is coming back. I think it was a setup.
I don't know what was going on there. That just looked a setup. That looked a little scary to me. I've seen movies like that before, you know.
Yeah, you never sit with your back to a door, Gary. Wow, Stan.
But you're handing guy money. He's got to count it out, dude. You know, it's like, is it all here? Yeah, it's all here. All right, I'm just going to.
One of those machines that you just put the notes in.
I know.
Oh man. All right. Dominating here. Play lounge with Miss Melina.
So Moss is actually I believe, staying in the Hilton, where the football players stay, right?
Where the players stay, yeah, definitely. Bro, I met again today. Okay, Cozier Dubry, you met him. Okay, so he's hanging out with he's dropping names now. Mosses, he's dropping names. We're going to be first come Sunday, indeed. So, you know how this works, Gary, is the win part of this podcast is Arsenal doing the business on Saturday, beating Brentford. Draw or loss comes on Sunday to somebody, right? Liverpool and City. Somebody loses or somebody draws. Of course somebody could win, but one of those.
All I care about is Arsenal gets the win, and we'll see what happens after that. But as you said, those 2 play and only one can win. So, you know.
Yep.
You know, if City wins, then we got it's in both of our control what happens next, right?
Yeah. Now, Man City will face Liverpool before the interlull, and then we will have a crack at Man City after the interlull at the end of this month. So that's how this thing works. Either side of the interlull, City have difficult games, and we're going to be a different team. Going to the Ethihad, we're going to be a different team. We won't have a crocked Partey. We won't have a Rob Holding as one of our central defenders deputizing for William Saliba and various other players. We hopefully won't have a Gabriel Jesus who's not physical enough up front. Lawrence has returned.
All right, Lawrence.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on 1 minute. Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold
on, it's not over yet.
He's got to check behind the sofa.
I was just going to ask him, does he feel a little lighter now? But he didn't stay long enough.
He's got to pull the cushions out of the sofa and find a few more. Some more cabbages to say lettuce.
Yeah, it is crazy. We were able to score more than 3 goals without Nketiah on the pitch.
Did it without Eddie.
Crazy, right?
We did it without Eddie. Odegaard will meet his real Canadian Viking father. Okay. Moss.
I don't know what that means. What is he trying to say?
Moss is saying that he's laying claim to the Norwegian lineage of Odegaard.
Oh, okay.
He's in the family.
Nice.
Stan's cleaning up too.
So I was just cleaning my screen. It's filthy. Well done. Just
Gary's a professional. He doesn't
I
have
don't know what's all
people
what's
coming
going
to
on.
shake
It's
him
not-
down.
it's not
or-
weird. I know.
no. Gary has someone that cleans his screen for him.
There you go. There you go.
Is that? And little boy comes in.
I spent all
I
Moss
cannot, people.
FC
Don't listen
wages.
to that guy.
All right, not Alonzo Lawrence. How are you? Alonzo, come.
Hi,
later.
sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we
sorry,
did saw a
I
live.
had an
We saw a
I
live
had an
shakedown.
unexpected visitors.
We saw a
We saw
live
it. We
shakedown.
saw it all
I'm sure
live.
you
Yeah.
We saw the
Sorry.
live shakedown. We know what's going on.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, we know.
You know, do you? Okay.
Yeah. I think we better move on.
Lawrence,
Yeah.
I like that joke, man. I thought it was funny.
Liverpool are a lucky team this season. So, Lawrence, you are very happy
Yeah.
about a 6-0 win against Sheffield United, but
Yeah.
you didn't have to shave your beard off. You were looking a little bit worried at one time.
No, I know.
Scored that hat trick, right? But
Right, right.
you're a little bit worried about Brentford this weekend, though, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because
That's a surprise.
guess who's doing the VAR on Saturday?
Tierney.
It's the suspended Paul Tierney.
Yeah. And if you remember last year's corresponding fixture, we had the famous Lee Mason, who
Oh,
doesn't
don't
know
tell
how to
Stan.
draw a line on a pitch.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm smelling a conspiracy here.
Yeah, listen, if we don't pick up 3 points, we've been in scintillating form these past 2 months. So it's got to continue into Brentford. And
So, I mean, is that how PGMO look at it? That, you know, if a referee is to be punished, they consider VAR is a punishment now.
That's not
Yeah.
even a punishment.
Do
That's
you know what I mean?
That's
If you're
their
naughty, you got
job.
to work VAR.
exactly.
That's the job
Hey.
on an off day, Stan. When they're not on the field, they're up in VAR. They just punish him by making him do his job.
If you're a bus
I mean,
driver,
this is what I don't.
if you're a bus
This is
driver
what I
and
don't.
you get suspended, you just become the conductor.
Yeah. I mean, anywhere else, if any of us didn't do our job properly,
Yes.
we'd be fired.
Yeah.
These
You-
guys, they get a smack on the wrist, right? And then they say, oh, well, no, it's all right. We're just going to put you in a room with a computer screen, right? And you can eat your sandwiches and have your coffee and
Well,
scratch your ass.
Lawrence, to be fair, the actual proper procedure is a verbal warning, 2 written warnings, and then you get fired. So, I mean, you know, there is a routine.
Yeah. Yeah, and even that's not good. Yeah.
I speak from
Yeah.
experience.
Right. Liverpool are a lucky team this season. Look, I don't want to hear anything else, anything more from Liverpool fans about they got robbed at White Hart Lane. Well, you got a big reward at Nottingham Forest at the City Ground last weekend, and as far as I'm concerned, that's the evening out of the season for you, Liverpool. Nunes dominant again and Zabo again. Salah is back for Sunday, but Konate got hurt. So here we go. We continue the narrative of injuries that Liverpool, the media pick up on more of the injuries of Liverpool, but they never consider the injuries of other teams. And we're all suffering injuries here. You know what I mean? He was in for 5 seconds left. Okay. Morning all. Hawkwinds in the house. All right, so let's go quickly through that Sheffield United game, Gary. Maybe we don't have to go minute by minute or goal by goal, but just broad strokes on the Sheffield United, Gary.
No, I mean, like you said, we're going into this match. The one thing that we needed to do, right, was what? Come in and
Get goal early.
Well,
Early
Huh?
goals, right?
Yeah,
Get
score
early goals.
Get early goals, and as we said, get out of there. Finish it off at halftime. Been asking for that all season, right? This was this was the game, I guess. At not even at halftime, probably less than 15 minutes in, and the fans were already like, well, it's not like
Leaving.
we sent some at halftime, and now we're sending them. Now we're sending them. They don't even get to watch like
15
20
minutes.
minutes of football, and
Yeah.
they're done. So
Yeah.
15 minutes, bang, 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 we score, and it's looking like we can get. What is it? That 6 would have been broke the record, in a half. So we probably,
Yeah.
I'll say, that's disappointing we didn't get to 6, but
Equal Arsenal's.
You'll take it.
Yeah, or equal Arsenal's best ever scoreline of 7-0. Put in danger the 9-0 Premier League record. But I guess it is okay to back off, save some legs for this weekend. As Tiger and Gunnar said, it's a great time to be a Gunnar. Women's are filling up stadiums. Men are empty and out stadiums. So definitely going well on both fronts. Stan, your thoughts on the win up in Sheffield as well? Sheffield United knew it was coming for them, and their heads dropped very quickly.
Yeah, hiding. There was that footage that went around of the players in the tunnel. I don't know if it was for that match, but it was basically the tunnel, and you could, the Arsenal players, whoever we were playing, they were giving them a proper stare down. And Ben White, he was usually so understated in the way that his demeanor is very understated guy. The look that whoever he was looking at him, man, he looked like he was looking at the guy like the guy was just a piece of shit. He looked at the guy with pure disgust. So, I like to see that we're starting our work before we get onto the pitch, because all of these things count. It all helps. It's all part of the game. And this is probably, the influence of the coaching staff.
Yeah, BX said Brentford won't be so easy, but we can win comfortably. I think they got Mbuemo coming back, but they've got some injuries at the back as well defensively.
Oh, and just speaking of Ben White, great goal by the way. He doesn't really get many for us, but that was a good forwards finish from again someone who's so understated, not underrated, but he's so understated. And we hear the stories that he doesn't even watch Match of the Day or anything like that. He goes home and that's the end of it. Job's done for the day. So play, good goal.
No, a nice goal on his supposedly weaker left foot. Gave it a good wallop, threw the leg at it, and went right in the corner. Declan Rice, I thought the highlight for me, 2 of them were Havertz getting through and scoring that goal. Again adding to the run that he's been on throughout the season and adding real numbers to his game. And then of course Declan Rice combining with Bukayo Saka. Those two like to play on the field together in the same team. But Odegaard starting things off again, getting another quick goal, Lawrence.
Yeah. Before we took the lead, we should have had like 2 goals.
Yeah.
Like when Saka hit the bar and Havertz missed an open goal. Complete domination from the kickoff. Because that could have been a tricky game for us had we not opened the scoring early.
Yeah.
So it was a good goal by Odegaard. I'm happy with 6. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it could have been more.
Yeah.
But that goal difference could come into play come the end of the season.
Yeah. We've looked in the last couple of seasons.
And it was
it's always been City or Liverpool having that.
And
goal.
it was.
Yeah.
And it was also a joy to see Saka actually taking on someone on the outside instead of cutting in all the time.
Okay.
Because he had, I think it was Austin. He had Austin Trusty on toast.
Yeah.
He kept beating him every time he got the ball.
Yeah. I think that was the look that Ben White was casting. It was in Austin Trusty's direction. Maybe he took his parking space one time at London Colney. Who knows? But Gary, now we've been in this situation where we're now in position to strike with Liverpool and City. We've worked hard for 2 months to get into this position. Now, close that gap on Liverpool from 5 points right down. We actually were 3 points behind City, and they drew recently with, I think, Chelsea. So we need to take advantage. These 7, here we are again, Gary, 7 wins like we were last season. And we need the narrative to be a little bit different than last season.
Yep. No, just kind of going back a little bit. Saka, that's probably his flu game. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You said he wasn't feeling well.
Wasn't feeling well. Come off at halftime and basically, as you said, put Trusty in a box and shipped him home. Kind of said you should go back home. This is not the place for you, But yeah, we'll take that. But as you said, yeah, we who would have known that come New Year we would just be like, well, we're like so many points behind, so many goals behind on goal difference, points behind. This is where we are, and basically we've just gone out there and did our work, did our job. All right, did the job, and now what? We lead the league, and we always were tied for leading the league in defense in terms of goals scored. Got that and goals scored too. So we've been struggling, right? This is crazy. A lot of people are going to say the league is down, but I think it's more competitive. So, I think our goals are up there with what we did last year, and the way we're playing, we could easily get to the goal title, the goal mark that we got last year if we continue what we're doing. So whatever Arteta's doing, keep doing it, and I'm happy to see us get healthy. For me, the health just means we've got depth, and I would like to say we could play the same 11 through the rest of the season, but I would like to believe that we might have to rotate some players in and out, and not just Trossard and Jorginho. We're going to have to maybe get some help from, hopefully Tomiyasu and who else is coming back? Partey.
Partey and Theodore is coming back as well.
Theodore.
Bagwell.
Bagwell.
Who?
Vieira.
Bagwell.
I don't know what you guys know. I don't know anybody by that name that plays for Arsenal. Actually, there's nobody actually by that name that plays for Arsenal. I've checked the back of everybody's shirt. Never seen that name.
All right, Gary. We'll back off a little bit, just a little bit. Gary, so 11 games to go, and this is what we did last season. We scored 88 goals, 43 against, though, and we've already scored 68. So we're 20 goals away from what we did last season, and we have 11 games to go yet. And of course, defensively, we've conceded 20 goals less as well. So those are really, really great numbers. Stan, we've scored 68 and we've conceded 23. So we're 20 and 20 away from where we were last season.
Yeah, I think there's a stat saying that we've scored the most so far this season and we've conceded the less. Yeah, we're not top of the league.
Yep.
So there's still a little bit more work to be done. And I want to win I really want to win this league, right? Don't get me wrong. But if we ended up finishing in third place and we were like 2 points behind the winners, do you know what I mean? I'd be disappointed, but I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to start throwing, throwing everything out the pram, because I believe that we're getting closer and closer. Do you know what I mean? And that it would just give me even more hope for the following season that we can do better than what we did. But don't get me wrong, I'm not making excuses early and saying that I don't care. Obviously, I want it now.
Yeah.
But I really do see the improvement in this team. And I've been quite surprised. I think it was like the Newcastle game was one time when this team really showed me something, and the West Ham game as well, when they showed me something. Liverpool as well. I've seen this team has really matured for me.
Yeah.
They're really getting it. They're really getting it. And they play as a unit. They play as a team. And they've bought right into whatever this manager, his philosophy is. They're all on board. And that's the perfect combination.
Yep. I went early. I went in week 15 when we beat Wolverhampton Wanderers at home. but obviously we had that dodgy patch there between Christmas and New Year's. That got me a little bit worried about our form and how we were doing. But you look at these stats down below, and the 43 goals we conceded last season. And Arteta has become, I think, obsessed with having more control in games this season and keeping, especially the goals against down. 43 was too many to concede. And so we've conceded 23 so far. And if you're in the low 30s, traditionally you'll be in with a chance of winning the league. As Stan said, we're up against a team in Man City who have won it, 5 out of the last 6 seasons?
They want to make it 4 in a row, isn't it? That's what they're looking for, isn't it?
Want to make it 4 in a row. And while I believe Liverpool will get tired eventually, and they will have a few dodgy results. Now, it may happen on Sunday. They may drop points, but I think they will drop points along the way as well. There's going to be a long way to go in this season. But Man City have been that team traditionally each and every year. My point is, to beat Klopp and beat Pep would be a huge achievement to win this league. But the metrics Arsenal are showing are impressive in 2024. What do you think, Lawrence, about that?
Yeah. I believe that both Liverpool and Man City will drop points come the end of the season. I mean, Sunday will be I think it'll be the first time that I will want a goalless draw against 2 of our rivals. I'm praying for it.
Yeah.
But the way Liverpool have played recently, I don't know how they can keep the pace going. I'm sure they're going to falter on the way. Same with Man City. I watched their game against Copenhagen, and Copenhagen had some chances. They looked good. City didn't look all that good in the second half. I mean, Copenhagen had several chances to score. So I'm living in hope that when we play them in a couple of weeks, we're going to catch them on an off day. And from what I saw on Monday, I think it's very likely. I just think that the way we play, I don't think City can handle it. The swift passing.
Yeah.
If we're on our game, and Saka, I mean, someone said Saka was sick on Monday when he was playing.
Yeah.
And if that's how Saka performs when he's sick, I'd like to see him play when he's 100% fit.
Yeah. He's our talisman this season, leading the goals and goal involvements as well.
Can I ask a question? A question? Sorry, do the Brownie thing. Go on.
Personally, I would like Arsenal to win the league, but I do think that the club is one transfer window away from winning the league. Right, Stan?
I just wanted to ask, while we were talking about Saka, it reminded me of something, and I wanted to get it in before I forgot. I was reading. I think I might have sent it to you. I was reading a story about how PSG, and again, it could be clickbait, but it's going to lead into something. How PSG were going to table a bid for Saka as a replacement for Mbappe of about 120 million pounds, and they were saying, like, you know, if PSG came to Arsenal with a bid like that, would they be able to say no? And it got me thinking, you know, especially when you've got a player that he has cost you nothing, that you brought all the way through. Is there a point? Is there a number where, and you know, if somebody came to Arsenal in the summer offering 120 to 140, say, million pounds, that's the number that I'm going to go with. And if you want to use that as your argument, then yeah. But what I want to know is, do you think that there is a point where there is a number that Arsenal would just have to sell? I know what I would do. I would say no. I would want to keep hold of that talent personally. But is there a number where you get to a point where Arsenal would have to say, well, yeah, we could sell this guy and perhaps, you know, buy a Rafinha, and we'd still have maybe, you know, 80, 90 million to spend somewhere else. What do you guys think?
I think there's always, Tiger and Gunner said no sale whatsoever. BX is thinking about it at 180 or better. I'm kind of going along with BX. If you get
180,
a huge amount of money, but
that's not far off Neymar money, though, is it? That's Neymar money. You're getting into that territory.
It would have to be. Think of this. It was almost 6 or 7 years. Almost 6 or 7 years ago now, when Coutinho went to Barcelona for about 130, 132, something like that.
Yeah, but that money was well not spent well, right? It wasn't well spent. I mean, they didn't get.
It was money well spent, right? Not for Barcelona, but for Liverpool.
It was not money well spent.
Okay.
The money was spent well by the team that got it, but the money wasn't spent well. In terms of the deal that went to that went out of the hands of Barcelona. So
like you have that kind of money, and instead of going for like high class hookers, there you are drinking warm beer in Hooters. So why are you doing that?
I read somewhere that Saka wants to hook up with Emery again. That Aston Villa want him.
No, that's a sideways move.
What about? I mean, he's happy at Arsenal. He loves.
That's not trajectory, is it? You leave Arsenal for Aston Villa?
Yeah.
No.
I think maybe
someone like an El Neni or an Emil Smith Rowe, maybe, but not Saka. That's you know, Saka's thinking of, you know, surely his next move would be somewhere like a Madrid or a Barcelona, right, or a Bayern Munich. So surely. When the time comes, if the time comes, right?
Well, I think personally,
he might do a Tony Adams and stay with us forever.
I think personally, Stan, he loves Arsenal and he wants to realize his dreams with Arsenal. And those dreams,
why would you leave?
Yeah, those dreams right now.
Things, you're getting to the finals of the Champions League or there or thereabouts. Why would you leave? You're being paid what you're worth. Happy days. If we need to match the ambition of the player.
And Moss, it probably is fake news. It's probably clickbait, as Stan referenced.
There's no
thinking, you know, like, you know, how you guys would feel about that.
It's good. It's a good.
No, but think about this. We've already been told that Arsenal's got 150.
Would you take 160 in the summer?
No. Think about this. Arsenal already has 150 to 250 that they're going to be able to use to spend supposedly in the summer.
Right.
Selling Saka doesn't help that. We're not that far off, are we?
No, but what it does do is, now I'll tell you what it does. It's not so much even for, obviously, 160 whatever it is million is handy. But if you look at the situation with Aston Villa, right, the 100 million that they got for Jack Grealish meant that, you know, that not financial fair play. You know, the other one that they have. What is it? There's another one similar that the FA have.
The
profit and sustainability, or whatever it is.
FSP.
That got them kind of like a free pass for like 3 seasons. But it comes to the end for them in June. So by doing something like that, selling a homegrown player for that amount of money, it's good to get the cash, but it also gives you that further ride in further windows where you're not worrying about balancing books because you've done that. Do you know what I mean? You've got in 160 million for someone that you paid nothing for.
We are on the cusp of getting where we're on the cusp of getting where we want to be. We're not selling our best player. You know what I mean? Like if you have I'm saying, like, if you have a goal to, like,
I'm not
came
behind
close
this.
last season. This season we're primed. Think about it. Last season it was in our hands. We dropped the ball. This season, you know, we might have dropped the ball early in the season, but it's still in our hands. We still have to beat 2 teams. One team's going to have to fall to help us out, but you're this close. And there's nothing. You don't sell any of your best players to get to where you want to be. I mean, you need to just reload. Think about what City did. They went from, you know, just winning the league all the time, competing in all the domestic cups, and then basically Haaland got them over the cusp. And now, you know, they
Europe,
won
yeah.
they won the Champions League. So
Right.
that's where we need to be. Right, we need to be getting another player to get us over the hump, and if that means winning, that hopefully will get us winning the league. Right. So yeah, it's
I think we're all in agreement on this one, Gary. We're all in agreement on this one.
I've got a question for you, Ray. If PSG came to you with an offer for Tony for 180 million, would you take it?
Tony is a part of this podcast, and I would never let him go.
Tony who? Tony who's gonna have to go and learn
Gary.
French, man. You have to go learn some French. I'll give him some lessons. You know,
Tony's on a long-term contract.
it's not that long.
It's
It's not that long, dude.
He has a license to say almost anything that's not believable, Gary. You know. Yeah, but definitely, hopefully Tony will join us. He was on with Tom a little bit earlier, so he's probably grabbing something to eat. Going to join us with a few pearls of wisdom, right? Is that what you call them, Gary? A little bit later.
Not at all. That's not what anybody calls them. Ray, I don't know. Ray, whatever you got in your cup,
Gary.
Turn to all right. Sounds not right.
I did have some.
You're saying some weird things tonight.
I did have some alcohol a little bit earlier.
It shows. It shows.
Gary, the man who gave us Saliba would never play for Arsenal.
That
was the best one ever, right?
Yes. Yeah, no,
Saliba would want to stay.
Think about it. We don't have our strongest 11 just yet, right? I don't think anybody. I think there's just one hole to fill in our starting 11. You know, like solidify that spot. Nobody's said it's my spot, and you know what it's going to be every week. We can switch it in and out if we need to. So that's the good thing. The bad thing is it'd be nice to say, look, this is the 11 that gets us across the line. Yeah. I don't think we have that just yet.
Gary, if everybody fit, then if everybody in the squad fit, who's in your eyes? Who is our best starting 11?
I think Timber, based on 45 minutes,
sure,
would be our. If I'm going to look at if I'm expecting to get the same thing out of those, if what I saw in those 45 minutes in preseason,
you just made the list.
Yeah, I'm not. Put that pen down and don't you dare
Gary,
write with it.
You're the first one in our team sheet, Gary. You just made our list.
8 minutes.
You know what? The skill set that he has,
Timber, yeah.
I think he does everything that we want at that position. Yes, we didn't see enough of it, and you said healthy. So if he's back to where he was, come the whistle when it blows, right? That's what you're saying.
So what position? What position is that?
Left
back.
You know what? That's the interesting thing. It's like he can play either one. So you know who plays right or left back.
I'm asking you. What's your starting 11?
Yeah,
I think I'm keeping Ben White. I'm keeping Ben White. The two.
Hang on, who's in goal?
Who's in
goal?
Stop.
I'm just asking you.
Come on. Ray is in goal. Come on. Don't even go there. No,
he's right. He is right.
I want to know who you would start.
Okay, Ray is in goal. I've got Saliba and Gabriel in front of him. I've got Timber out on the left. I've got Ben White on the right. I've got Rice. You know what? If everybody's healthy right now,
sure.
Based on what I've seen, I mean, I think Jorginho and Rice and Erdegaard would be our best midfield. One, because I know Jorginho's done it, and if he's healthy, that's a problem. He's not somebody that's going to give us every game. That's why I'm saying as a whole, because now the nice thing is we can go with Jorginho, Partey if he comes back.
Yeah,
we've seen Havertz go in there. People love Havertz in that midfield. I don't see it. I feel like it takes us back offensively. He might help us defensively, but offensively, I think he doesn't help us as much. And then on the front line is the usual front line that I see there. And that front line is the thing. I like what we're doing now. So do I keep Havertz or Jesus? And you know what? I'm like, if we have a healthy Jesus, I think it works fine for us. The trick is, will they keep him up high on the pitch? That's the problem. He seems to want to come back. So, if we're playing the way we are now and we have a Jesus up front there and we have the Martinelli and Saka slashing, I think nobody has answers for that, especially in the Champions League. If Jesus is playing, he would excel there. So, like I said,
you can only pick 11 though.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Jesus if he's healthy. Yeah, up top.
That's crazy though.
Does anyone else have anything different to Gary's selection?
I don't think Gabriel Jesus would be our best number 9. I don't think Gabriel Jesus would be our best number 9. I think Havertz and Trossard have done better than Gabriel Jesus in that position.
I don't think he's been healthy.
So Ray, your starting 11 has
last season he was healthy. How did we do?
We didn't score.
How did we do up until he got injured going away to the World Cup? Where were we?
Yeah, you're talking about a 3-month period.
And we're talking about theoretical. If he's healthy, that's what you get. You get what we saw last season.
I like what we've seen.
Does that mean then in your formation you would have Jesus on the bench? He doesn't make the starting 11.
Yeah, he wouldn't make the team for me.
Interesting.
Gabriel Jesus.
Can I be controversial?
Yeah.
Yes, you're here. If Tony's not here, then you're the controversial one.
If you're sitting in Saka, just turn your camera off.
You're sitting in Lawrence, you're sitting in Tony's chair right now, so you have
Tony's spot, man.
Hold on. I'll put it. There we go.
The de facto Tony Turner.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
I'm a big Aaron Ramsdale fan. I think he's a better keeper than Raya. I'm sorry to say that. I still don't know what Raya does. Puts him ahead of him.
When he distributes the ball, that's what he does. Ramsdale does not do that consistently.
Yeah, you're one of the last, Lawrence. You're hanging on in there.
Yeah, I know. I just love Ramsey. I'll be so upset if he does leave us because I think he's an excellent keeper, and he's done. People seem to forget what he did for us over his time playing for us, and I'd be sad to see him leave. But back line, I would have Ben White, Saliba, excuse me, Gabriel, and Timber.
Okay,
definitely.
Right,
because I think we're weak on that left side. I mean, I don't think Kivior is the answer, and neither is Zinchenko. In the middle, Thomas Partey and Declan Rice. Up front, Odegaard, Saka, and Trossard. And then
Martinelli.
I've Martinelli as well. Yeah, I was trying to remember Martinelli and Jesus.
That's your 11. No,
12.
Martinelli was your 11.
It's 12.
Oh,
you can't
sorry.
play 12.
All right. Okay.
You can put Gabriel Jesus on VAR instead of Paul Tierney.
Yeah. There you go. So I was never good at maths. I was worried about when we were watching on Monday. I was trying to find my abacus when the goals were flying.
Well, you nearly had to take your socks off, Lawrence.
Yeah, exactly. And my feet aren't a pretty sight at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. So Stan, what's your 11, or do you want to ask me what my 11 is?
I thought you
For-
told us, but go on. I think you
Well,
said
I
he's putting
kind of
Jesus
did.
on the
Yeah,
bench.
I listen. I think there isn't much between David Raya and Ramsdale, but
Oh,
Raya has
Oh
shown
crap!
more. There's fractions there's in this, but Raya has shown more. Timber would be a left back. Gabriel, Saliba,
Everyone with
yes.
Timber, man.
Saliba does play for Arsenal, Tony, and Ben White, right back. I would play Thomas Partey. You know, a fit Thomas Partey. Gary's seen it. He knows where that is. Alongside Declan Rice, Erdegaard there as well. And then I would play Martinelli, Saka, and I would go with Trossard. Yes. I've seen, but I think Havertz would be the 12th man in that lineup if we're picking 12.
There we go.
Right?
Hey, you finally put me on.
Yeah, I
I
wanted
was
to
trying,
hear.
I was trying to kick you
Saliba.
out.
So, Tony,
Gary's
I'm
got
your brother.
Look,
Yeah,
they're
my
wearing
brother.
brown together. Look, the two of them. They're Jedi.
Yeah.
Jedi
I'm
ones.
not wearing brown. This is
Great,
like
great minds think alike.
I'm dressed in like Grimace colors, right? Not brown.
All right, Stan. Will we move on, or should we ask Tony?
Yeah, ask Tony. So, Tony, I was just asking everyone if the whole squad, the current squad, is fit, and you have to pick a starting 11 to get us over the line that's going to win us the league out of what we have. Who is it? Who are you picking? Everyone is fit, and you got to pick that 111, and they're going to play for the rest of the season to get us over the line.
I mean, does that mean even if they're injured, they'll be to the
Dude,
same
Tony,
quality as
dude.
before?
they're all fit, man.
Tony,
He just told
if
you
everybody is healthy, Tony, nobody's injured.
Banner in the works, isn't you? I just
there's
told
no
you, man.
flu,
Everyone
No,
is
I was
healthy.
no
no,
tummy
I was
bugs.
saying. I'm
No,
saying.
there's nothing more to say. They're all healthy, Tony.
Current
Pick
squad.
11.
Pick
What
Everybody's healthy. Pick 11.
What they do? Go to like
It
Granite
doesn't matter.
Zaka's
Magic.
witch doctor?
Magic.
It doesn't matter what kit they're wearing.
They went to Granite Zaka's witch doctor.
What colors they wearing?
Is it long sleeved or short sleeved that
Are
day?
they wearing their lucky underpants?
Tony, pick your best 11 when everybody's healthy. Do it. Please.
I'm going to surprise people and go away from what all four of you.
You're not
I bet,
surprising people.
You already surprised us already. Give me some names.
I go with the center back that we.
See what you did, Tony?
Saliba?
No,
Who's in
I go
goal?
with the center back that we bought last winter, but we didn't use the guy. Now
Okay.
he's great. Kivior is left.
Well,
back.
Rob Holding.
KVR, yeah. KVR.
He's your
Gabriel.
Thank you.
He's your left back.
what? Left back. Okay.
He's
Saliba.
Tony's left back. All right. Come on, give us 10 more names.
Who's
I
in goal?
did. I went. Did you not hear me?
Keep going. Keep going. We're good. Don't distract him, Ray. Come on. He's
Ray
on a roll.
said I had
You've got
10
three
left.
players. We're 3 players. Come on. Let's go. Let's
Insane.
go.
I did it. You got Gabriel. You got Saliba. You got Reyes. Goalie. You got what? Yeah. You got Tommy Asu as the right fullback. That's 5.
Yep.
So you go Jorginho, Rice, Odegaard, and Saka Martinelli. Is that where I finish that? Or do I have one more?
Yes. You have a number 9 left.
Odegaard. Or not
You already
Odegaard. Sorry.
picked him. You already picked him.
I just thought of it because he's the fucking other long guy.
Trossard, you mean? Is that what you want?
Long guy.
You mean
Trossard.
Trossard?
Yep.
Trossard? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank God we got through that, Stan. Gary,
There we go.
Whew, that took.
that was pretty. That went well after
That's
he decided Raya was going to be the goalkeeper.
that's
I'd
5 minutes. I'm never.
left back.
You
Yeah,
know how many
I'd
times you're
have
going to say that, Lawrence? Lawrence, you know how many times you're going
What?
to say that? Every time you see the man.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Well,
5 minutes. I'm never gonna get back.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd have Tomiyasu at left back, and
Mm.
Ben White as the right back. Obviously, Saliba and Gabriel. And
Okay.
I agree with you. I agree with you with Raya. I think he's starting to look a little bit more settled, and I don't want to upset it now. So I'm going to stick with Raya. And my midfield would probably be Odegaard, Rice, and Partey, if everybody fit and being able to play. Saka and Martinelli on the wings. Through the middle is a difficult one. Very difficult one because there are three players, and none of them are Eddie and Ketia, that all have an argument to be playing in that position.
Sorry, Tom.
I thought you were going to say
Let him finish.
none of them is Jesus. Was what I thought you were going with.
I was going to say that they've all got an argument to
Here
be there.
comes an Easter joke.
If I had to pick one,
Yes.
if I'm going to have to pick one, and they're going to stay fit and play every game.
You better hurry up, or that guy who visited Lawrence is going to come out through that door behind you.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Jesus, with Havertz being that 12th man.
Oh wow! Okay, you're going for Gabriel Jesus alongside Gary. Picked Gabriel Jesus as well. I went Trossard. Tony went Trossard. I'm not sure. I think that Lawrence went with Trossard as well, but I'm not sure.
Something else that I do like though is having exactly what I picked, but instead of having Partey, Odegaard, and Rice, I would have maybe Odegaard, Rice, and Havertz, but in a formation where Havertz is playing quite up alongside Jesus at times as a 2 or a second striker, not just as that left 8. So the formation would be slightly tweaked.
Yeah. Okay. Michael said Ramsdale will play on Saturday as well, due to the loan arrangement with Ryan.
Right.
I think the problem with Havertz playing in midfield, to me though, sometimes probably is that if we are pressing like we typically do, it doesn't. I don't think it works with Havertz there.
I feel like you have to go with Jorginho. That's why I went with Jorginho.
If Havertz is the replacement for Xhaka, he has now equaled the goals, right? 7 goals.
Nobody's replacing.
I'm just saying.
No, but that's not what's happening.
Xhaka's got the 7 goals, which took him 7 seasons to get there. Havertz has got 7 goals now in the league in his first season. So is that not an upgrade?
They're not playing the same position. That's the thing, though, right? We're much better solidified
in the output wise, right?
Yeah,
it took Xhaka 7 seasons,
and that's good that he's
get to that kind of a tally, that kind of a goal contribution, which is the highest currency in the game. And now, after a slow start, Havertz is already there.
Yeah, but I mean, Rice has 10.
I like that.
Rice has 10 goal contribution, so that's even.
Good.
Yeah.
So we weren't even getting that from Partey, right?
But what's surprising about that, Stan, is that we've had 2 players in the last month that have showed they're a lot better at that 8 than Kai. You had Smith Rowe play there. And you had Jorginho. And we look fucking brilliant each time.
Well, no, Rice has been doing it as well, hasn't he? When Jorginho has been playing, Rice seems to be doing that kind of. If anything, because there's times when Rice has looked the closest to Xhaka. How Xhaka used to look when he was in the team.
Yeah, it's nice when they let him have the 8.
But Tony, Emile Smith-Rowe, he started 1 game, and Emile Smith-Rowe has. So I know we'd love to push him forward as that number 8, but he's not there yet. He hasn't played enough games.
Did we look better with him as 8? That's been our problem the whole fucking year. That 8 for Granit Xhaka role wasn't working for anybody. Then Smith Rowe and Jorginho went in there. It was loads better than Kai.
I don't think Jorginho plays an 8. And I don't think Emile Smith Rowe, for me, has been what I don't know. He didn't
what we
look.
want him to be.
I don't know. Maybe just one game, but didn't seem that it's. I mean, he might need some time anyways. But
Both of
I
them
don't-
look better than Kai at the 8. That's my point.
no,
Gary.
but
Wow.
the stats say differently. The stats
Yeah.
say that Kai is doing everything you want as a defensive,
Yeah.
from the defensive side in that position. That's some of the stuff that Xhaka was giving us that you don't even notice, right? So
Granite gave us no
Gary,
defense last year.
up
Gary,
top, he
too.
did give us more. It's just a problem. The thing is, he doesn't get punished. We don't get punished when he's up there.
Yeah.
You know, and like a lot of people have said, you know, they looked at it and he's definitely supported defensively from higher up the pitch, and it worked better there. That's the thing.
I think.
I
Gary,
didn't see him ever
hold on.
dropping back. He wasn't dropping back.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. He's higher up the pitch, but defensively he's better
Yeah.
up there, right? We don't take, you don't have, because you know when Partey's healthy, he doesn't have to come back, right? When Rice is healthy, he wouldn't have had to come back, right? So that's the kind of how that works.
Yeah, but you
I
would
think-
have you would
Tony.
have Granite Xhaka, then
Tony.
you'd have
Tony. I think if Emil Smith-Rowe had had the availability throughout the season, that he could have pushed Kai Havertz in that role and been in the number 8. But unfortunately, injuries have not been his friend this season. And Kai Havertz has had the ability to play many of the games, whereas
but I
Emil
think there's
Smith-Rowe
3
has been
players
injured.
better in that row. You got Smith-Rowe.
All right, Lawrence,
got
let's
George-
give Lawrence a chance to say goodbye. I think he's going to leave us at this point. He's cutting in and out. So, Lawrence, thanks for being here with us.
Oh,
And
Did his
Deep
special
drop.
guest cut his Wi-Fi or something?
did you see that?
I just heard you talk about it. So.
Okay. Yeah. So listen, Emil Smith-Rowe, we would have loved Emil Smith-Rowe to play more this season, but
But I think you have Zinchenko, Smith-Rowe, and guess who else, Ray?
Zinchenko is not. No.
He's an 8.
all right, Tony,
No,
we're
he's
gonna
not.
move on.
If he was, he would play 8, but he's not.
But
So, he's not an 8.
Jorginho, Smith-Rowe, and Zinchenko are
I
all
feel
better
like
at Kai.
We were
than
we were
8.
driving along pretty well, and we had to hit some speed bumps and slow down with this Zinchenko Emil Smith-Rowe talk.
you were fastly approaching the toll booth, right?
The Tony toll booth. Yeah,
you know how you're going down the highway. Do you have that in New Jersey? Do they still use the bumps on the turnpikes?
Gary, do that.
I don't even know where he's going with this.
The little rumble
were talking
strips they
football.
let the rumble strips that let
Yeah.
you know that a toll booth's coming
All
up.
right, we're gonna get back
I
on
don't.
track
You know
here.
what? I don't think so because nowadays you got the easy pass, right? So
Yeah, the little car.
Right. Tiger and Gooner said Ramsdale should have come on at a halftime in the Sheffield game.
I think that would be disrespectful.
Well, I
think
think you can.
I think that would be disrespectful.
You
to
can
Sheffield
substitute
United
your
to
goalkeeper.
sub your goalkeeper off because you're
What?
up 5-0 at half.
What's funny, Gary, is
It's disrespectful to the opposition.
Oklahoma came up with the easy pass first. Then McDonald's gave it a whirl.
Stan.
And,
Stan,
and there's some more
assess-
facts you don't
Oh,
care
you're
about.
on mute,
Tony's
Stan.
got them.
Stan, assess the 3 title contenders for me if you're still okay. You're
Yeah.
not muted. What's the metrics for Arsenal? We scored the most, we conceded the least. The metrics for Arsenal are points in a good way, right?
Yeah, if we just keep doing that, I mean, what more can you ask from a team? Score goals and don't let any in. And
Yep.
that's simplifying it. But I was just looking at Kai Havertz's stats for the season. So he's been involved in the league in 26 matches. Not all of them starts, and he's also played a couple of different positions, but he's had 7 goals and 3 assists. So that's 10 goal involvements in 26 games, which is not bad, to be fair. 6 yellow cards. So he's getting stuck in a little bit. And in the Champions League, he's had 7 matches and he's had 1 goal. So, you know, it looks like that he's coming good to me. And I want to say that because I was very dubious when we got him.
Yeah.
No, I just looking at the blueprint that he left behind at Chelsea, and then the money that we paid notwithstanding, I thought, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But slowly but surely, I think that he is beginning to be a part of this Arsenal team, and I'm happy about that. I'm not one of those that's like, oh, I didn't want it to work. Shit. No, I want it to work every time. I want all of our investments to come good, and it's so far the two that we put in from Chelsea, both him and Jorginho, they look like they're becoming good additions to the squad. So much so that I'm looking at Havertz. If it's between Havertz and Eddie, I'm picking Havertz.
Yeah, looking at his stats from Chelsea of last season, and maybe it's not comparable, but he scored 7 goals with Chelsea last season and only 1 assist. And so far, after 26 games, he scored 7 goals with Arsenal and 3 assists. So he's got another 9 games to go to improve upon what he did last season. And he's already hit the same amount of goals that Granit Xhaka has scored last season. Now
he has something this year that he didn't last year. He doesn't have a
pay
crazy. He didn't have a crazy ass fuck owner.
Right.
That the fucking UK government picked.
All right. And
how shitty were the rest of the contenders for that fucker to get awarded the team? I mean, did they not search his background at all? Or did
who are we talking about? Todd Bowley now?
Yeah, Bowley. It's
Okay.
The UK government
Yeah.
picked him as the owner,
So yeah, as Gary, as Moss said, ahead of what Xhaka did already, and I think I said earlier this season, if he hits 10 this season, it will be a good season for him. Havertz, I believe.
He did 7 last season, right, in the league, and he's already got that now. So
yeah,
he is well on his way. And like I said, after what I saw in the first 10 games, I was like, if whatever we get from him is a bonus. So I just think we rushed him into the lineup sooner than he needed to. He's catching on now, and that's kind of what I want. I was hoping to see this, but like I said, it's a bonus. Whatever we get from him is a bonus because. That's kind of what I was thinking, and so I'm happy with him. He's doing good. I think we had enough around him that he didn't really need to be pressed into a position. He just needed to get himself acclimated to the team, and that's where we are now. So that's good. That's good. Yeah. So I feel like we keep this up next season. He'll be even better, right? So if we're gonna keep him, and that's the thing. If we're gonna keep him, if we don't go out there and spend money on a striker, people are talking like we're gonna get a striker. We get a striker, then where does Havertz go? Right? Where does Havertz go? If we get a striker.
Well, rotation is a thing as well.
No, but he won't be like. We're bringing somebody in. They're starting, right? Arsenal's not bringing in backups anymore, right?
Yeah.
If healthy, Arteta does not mess with the attacking 3, right?
If he gets a striker, he's putting a striker in the starting lineup.
Out of Madison. So Madison came in with a lot of fanfare, and his injuries have caught up to him a little bit. So, I think we're seeing a lot of things that in this squad and in football in general, the best ability has always been availability and being able to turn out each and every week. All right, so we talked about Arsenal with the metrics. What about Liverpool? You're on mute again.
Me?
Yeah.
I was talking to someone off camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw the lips moving.
Ray, tell me what all 3 of you
Lawrence.
Evaluation about this was.
He has to pay the rent. Pay the rent.
We just saw what happened the last time somebody opened up a door.
Lawrence creeping up on me.
What was your about?
I said, no, I see you reaching into your wallet, and I'm like,
Ray.
damn, he's doing.
Tony,
it's happening again. Twice on the same show. Somebody gets knock. Rent's due.
Yeah.
Tony,
What was your guys' evaluations of Arsenal?
Evaluation of Arsenal.
Yeah.
We're scoring the most goals. We're conceding the least amount of goals,
Happy
and
days.
we're on this run. Happy days.
Can I throw a spanner in there?
No,
You
not
even let all
before
three
I
of us
welcome
answer. You
Nigel.
even let all three of us answer the question.
Nigel is here. Congratulations, Nigel! You won the Carabao Cup, and you're smiling right now. But
Right, Nigel.
I do believe Liverpool squad is being stretched thin, and I don't think you can last the next 10 or 11 games and still be in a title race in the last weekend of the season. That's just my personal opinion. Tony
Am I?
and Stance. But
How
yeah,
much
congratulations.
has our goals improved and goal difference improved since Jesus has been out these last 6 or 7 games?
I think we score more goals without him in the team.
Yeah, but
And
if you're evaluating a team though, you would probably include Jesus since Arteta is picking.
Jesus.
When he's first fit, it's gonna be Trossard or Kai up at the 9. It's not gonna happen. It's gonna be Jesus.
You saw typical Jesus when he came on. There was one time where he was like to the side of the goal and he was dribbling away, and it was like, it's like, where is it? At one point I was like, where are you trying to dribble to now? You could have taken the shot, but no, he still wants to dribble. And I don't know if he's playing for a penalty or what, but there are times when he can just like take a shot. And he sometimes, the phrase I would use is with Jesus, sometimes in good goal scoring opportunities, he tends to overcook it just that little bit too much.
Right. Definitely. That Jesus, his goal scoring in these last 2 seasons he's been with us, his goal scoring record should have improved with Arsenal. He didn't get all the minutes at Man City, and he got a lot of minutes at Arsenal, and he hasn't improved his goal scoring record over the seasons. If you look at them, Brownies, I got a funny one for you, Brownie. Here, these door openings tell me that this YouTube channel is a front for something. LOL. All I have to say, Brownie, is what's in the box? What's in the box, Brownie?
I know what's in the box. do you know what's in the box, Ray?
I do. It's a boxing glove on a stick.
Fuck you, Stan.
I'm right.
Mr. Brownie, at least he got a kick out of that one. Jesus definitely overdoes it and isn't clinical. You know,
Overcooks.
I feel, Tony, I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong that you're really pushing for Jesus for Easter. I know you are, Tony.
No, I said no resurrection for Jesus on Easter. He needs to stay away. Stay dead.
Tony and his jokes. I really wish Jesus put it all together because he's all there. He has the talent.
Exactly.
He does have the talent, but he doesn't put it all. You know what worries me?
He's excellent on FIFA. That's all I'm going to say. He's prolific on FIFA. And sometimes I'm just like wiping a tear from my eye and saying, why can't, you know, he gets so many goals. Do you know what it is with him? He does all of the deep stuff, which, when I mean deep, I don't mean like he crosses his legs and is like got joysticks out. I mean like, you know, deep on the field, right? You know, like how Lacazette used to do. And he helps out in the midfield. Which is why I still think that even if we bought a striker like an Osimhen or a Vlahovic or a Ollie Watkins, there's still a place in the team for him. Because if he was to play in whoever plays in that left 8 spot, it doesn't mean he has to play as a left 8. He can help out in attack, but he's shown us that he's quite willing to come back deep. He can win the ball. And when he wins the ball, he's very good at setting off an attack. So there could still be a place for him. But what I'm saying is, we shouldn't be relying on him as the outlet, the main outlet. He can do other things and contribute, and we can have somebody else taking the heat off of him, somebody else being the main outlet. Do you know what I mean?
You want to go with your 2 up front, Havertz and Jesus, right?
Something like that. At certain moments in the game, yeah, it doesn't have to be rigid, right? Because we are very fluid, and when we're off the ball, we basically are playing 4-4-2. So,
But would you think about our most difficult fixture now, Man City away? Would you play Gabriel Jesus at Manchester City? I wouldn't.
what, in the formation that Arteta plays?
Yeah,
With,
there's no way he would get. Last season we were beaten 4-1. It wasn't all his fault, but we had nothing going forward.
Jorginho has to play all our big games, so
Right?
that's to start.
That's fair.
Havertz won't play in midfield if that's
who
the
would you
case.
play then, Ray? If you're not playing Jesus,
about-
who would you play?
I would
Trossard.
not play Jesus at the
Who would you
Ethihad.
play then? Who would you play
I
then?
would play Havertz there.
You want to
I'll
go
play
with Trossard, the one you
I think you're right.
do.
From what I've seen, I think you're probably right.
He's going to get.
He can come off the
physically
bench,
bullied.
right? It isn't working. We can always try him. Doesn't mean he has to be excluded for 90 minutes, right?
Yeah, he can come
play a
on.
part.
He can come on and play a part, but I would not start him at the Etihad because we're probably going to be ahead.
Hang on, Gary, would you start him at the Etihad?
Start who?
Jesus. Who would you start?
I'd start Havertz or Trossard. Either one is fine for me. We get.
That's why Gary
get
said
different-
you play
Trossard's a big game
Jorginho.
player, isn't he, as well? Trossard loves a big game. He tends to like get his act together for bigger games as well.
Yeah, like I said,
He's done it for us.
I think there's a little bit of an element as well where these Man City players are relishing getting one
Are you
over
starting, Tony?
on Zinchenko and Jesus. They're relishing that.
Trossard.
Yeah,
Trossard.
yeah. You start Trossard.
Yep.
So there's no one shouting for Jesus, is there?
No.
Is anyone shouting for Jesus in the chat box?
So far, no. Big Gunner says nope. Jesus on the bench, super sub.
Wow,
They might be speaking.
I really
they
am
might be
surprised.
speaking
Seriously, I'm
Spanish.
surprised.
Well, think about it. When you start the season, Zinchenko was probably everybody's left back, right? You know, we knew we had Timber, but we assumed Zinchenko was our starter. Now it's like Zinchenko's like third, right?
Yeah.
I rather.
Okay, here's another question then. If with both of them are fit, who would you start at left back if the choice is Kivior or Zinchenko?
Kivior, 100%.
Me too.
Against City, we can't. No, I can't do that again.
I think the
That's why I
City
put
players.
Kivior at
I
my
think
team.
Kivior's an unsung hero. I think he's come really good. He's settling in. And there were times when we were attacking, he was playing like a left winger up there, helping out. He gets it. He gets his role and where he's supposed to be. And that's not his position. I'm pleased with Kivior.
It took him a little while. But now he's set into our
It didn't
system.
take him a little while. He wasn't being fucking used,
I mean, it was
right?
held back, is what it was. Like you rush Havertz. No, you rush Havertz. You rush. Havertz. No. You rush.
No.
Think about it. You rush Havertz in there, but you take your time with Kyrior.
I don't think I've ever seen
Gary,
Gray do so
hold
much
on.
passion.
No, that's exactly what happened.
It's
Right?
like,
But
no.
Kivior needed some games to get into the flow.
He had many a games he could have got into, and Arteta didn't.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen first game for him. It didn't look great for him the first couple of games, and he needed to get into a rhythm. You've been talking about rhythm, Gary, and you're right about getting into a rhythm.
Yeah, he needs to be part of a rotation. That's the only way
didn't
he's gonna
happen.
get better. He
But
needed
if
to
he
be
was-
part of a rotation. That's where the minutes come.
Didn't happen
Right.
first game though. Yeah.
No, it's never going to happen the first game in his first time. Like what? Outside of Timber, his first game looked fine.
But that's what I was saying when you were saying no.
Kyriel was not brought in at the level of a Timber, though, right?
Well,
He wasn't.
no.
He wasn't. He wasn't. Kyriel came in.
If you're telling me Kivior is a better player than Timber when we bought him, I don't know. Timber was a higher profile game.
No, I said Timber. Did I say Kyriel? I said
no.
Timber definitely was a better player than Kyriel.
Yes.
But if Kyriel is going to be our third center back in terms of rotation, he needs to play. He needs to play. Like nobody else.
Run of games.
We might have answers
He
with our
did not,
fullbacks,
right?
but he was not part of a rotation, so he never got the minutes. And is he better than Holding? I think so. Even last season, I think he would have been.
Right.
I always thought initially the role of Kivior, he was supposed to be competition or cover for Gabriel Megalex.
Yeah.
No,
But
I
he
think
seems
especially
to be doing all
especially
right at left
Saliba,
back.
I think he's supposed to be a cover for. I think.
But
He
then
is.
again, we've seen a trend, haven't we, of centre backs being deployed as fullbacks, and this is another example of it with Kivior. You know, they do it at City, right? So is it, you know, this is maybe part of that train of thought. I don't know.
But we need a center back. We don't need
Right.
guys who can play, who come in as a center back and play fullback. We need a center back who plays behind our center backs.
We've
Not
got
a,
loads of centre backs.
Kivior.
we don't.
Kivior
No,
is
they
not
don't
there,
rotate.
Gary.
My problem is they don't
Timber can
rotate.
play centre back.
We can't play the same
Tommy
fullback.
Aston can play centre back. There's
They
two
don't
right.
play. They
Yo,
don't
there's
play.
three.
They
There's
don't
three.
play there.
They
Yeah,
play, but they don't play
No,
in
no, they
Gabriel's
don't play.
position.
They don't play center back.
Yeah, because they've not been needed to yet. It hasn't been
But
required.
we need to. We need to rotate them.
What
I'll
if
say this
we
every
do
day.
this,
We
Gary?
need to rotate our center backs. We do.
Yeah, but you're
What if
not
we
going to
do-
take
what if
out.
we
You're not
do
going to
this
take out Saliba or
Brentford?
Gabriel if they're okay. You're not going to do it. You're not going to mess
Oh.
around with that. If one of them needs a rest, then yeah, maybe you got to take one out. But you're not going to do it just to give this other bloke a game if these two are fit. You don't
And
do
we're
it.
not going to do
No
it
way. You don't
in a
think of
title
that.
race. We're not going to do it in a title
No.
race. with 11
No.
games
The title
to
race
go
like
either.
now or like in the first half of the season.
First half of the season, yes, but he wasn't available.
Like I said, we
the
need to
first
have
half.
a rotation to keep these guys
Kivior was
fresh,
injured earlier
right?
in the
We just
season.
that's you know what the reason why another reason why we probably ended December the way we did is because we never rotated some of our players, and we need to rotate some of our players.
That's because you went out of the cup games early.
Saka, yeah, but well, we didn't have good
You know?
good bench, good squad, and that's why we looked the way we did. But like I said, we need to be able. If we can't rotate them because he's not confident in them, then that's the problem with the squad, right?
Well, as Stefan said, you do not rotate just for the sake of it. It's got to be done in the right way.
No,
Yes.
I'm not saying just rotate for no reason, but if you want to have a good squad going that competes on all four fronts, they have to rotate.
Gary, can I
No.
ask my fucking question?
Gary,
No,
yet?
you've been asking questions every 5
thought
minutes.
You're the speed
no.
bump.
Waving at
You're the
people.
speed bump. You're
No.
the Tony.
Tony,
You're the Tony
no,
Toll.
I don't want to
You
hear
have
you.
to
I
play
have
the
a
ball.
question for you,
You
right?
always have a
Remember there was
question,
that band called Tony Tone or something like that.
Tony the toll. Pay the toll to Tony.
Can I ask you a question, Ray?
Yes, sure. We got to
I
give him a
mean,
question once in a while, right?
Has Kivior had this like total outbreak of better talent? If he was given Holdings set of games at the end of last season, would we won the title?
You were asking
Who
a
knows?
left-footed centre back to play right centre back.
Who knows? Mikel didn't think he was ready. Who knows? It's ifs and buts, isn't it? It's like saying, you know, a lot of people always say we would have won if Saliba was back. But would we?
That's why
Would we?
Kirill wasn't a
You
good
don't
pick
know
because he wasn't ready
It
to
would've
play.
helped.
And he
Would've
wasn't ready
helped.
he
Yeah.
wasn't ready
Would've
to
helped.
play in our lineup.
Wouldn't have
Kirill
hurt
needed
it.
time, right?
But Tony, do you think
Okay.
Kivior would have been comfortable or is comfortable playing right centre back? Because he didn't look good there against Brighton at home and against Liverpool at Anfield. He didn't look good there last season.
Do you
You got
have
to build
to
a
do
partnership.
that?
haven't you?
His
You gotta
first
build a
game is
partnership
in
with
the
your partner.
Anfield. Do you think that's a good qualifier
You-
of whether or not he's gonna make it? Come on,
Centre
dude.
backs do
You give him the
partnership.
toughest test of all time and then say he didn't look so good. Of course
Yeah,
he
but-
didn't. He
I'll
wasn't
plug and
supposed
play
to.
with the
He
centre
should
back,
never have
right?
played in that game. That should not have been his
Yeah,
first
but
game.
you
Should
would
not have
think
been playing
that-
that side of the field either.
No, he
Gary.
should not be playing. That should not be his first game in an Arsenal shirt.
Yeah, but you could have played Ben White as the
You
right
build
centre
partnerships
back.
with at
Then
centre
have
back.
Kivior.
Fair, Gary. That's fair.
You could have Kivior as the left back instead of Zinchenko.
All right. I have a question then, Gary. That's a fair point about Kivior. Now, would you start Kivior? Would you rest Gabriel Magalhaes on Saturday and play Kivior there, Gary?
I like I said, I feel like we should have some sort of rotation for our players. Everybody says if they're healthy, they should play. Can they play every game? I
Don't you
know.
say the same thing,
If
Gary?
they're healthy,
Don't
you say
you
the
play
same
the-
thing.
They're match
Gary
fit.
plays
Would you-
both sides of
they're
that.
not-
Would you rest?
If they're match
Mate?
fit, fine. But the reason why I feel like we need to rotate is because when they're not match fit and you haven't played, there are backups. Guess what? It doesn't. Right now, nobody can fill that spot because guess what? Nobody has played center back for us
Gotta
except
be
for
ready.
Saliba
Gotta take your
and
chance.
Gabriel. Nobody can just step in and then be playing it because they've never done it.
They have to.
This
That's how it works.
season.
That's how it works, though.
No, I know that's how it works, but
most.
most teams rotate them in and out. I know they do.
But are you telling me if Gabriel Magalhaes gets injured, God forbid, on Saturday, you're telling me Kivior couldn't step in and play the rest of the game?
He won't.
Nothing.
He's never played it. So you expect
I-
it to just
well,
you
he's
expect
played-
it just to work. We've
He's
seen
a left center back.
we've seen how this
Plays
plays
for
out every time. We've seen it
He's
with
a
players
left center
in their
back.
positions when they sit out for a month. They
Slash
come in,
left back.
they're not ready to go. We've seen it, and you guys complained about it. Now all of a sudden, it doesn't matter. That's his position, even though he hasn't played it in months. I
He'd
mean,
have to
come on.
revert back. You know, and
It doesn't work that. It's not muscle memory is a
Be in
thing.
there for a while. He'll have to grow back into it. That's just
Muscle memory is a thing. You don't just sit on the sideline not
memory.
playing,
What-
and then the next
Kivior-
thing you know, you come in and you just
what's-
play. It never works. You see it
what's
all the
crazy
time.
about
You
this
complain
topic,
about
They
it.
man,
You don't
train as
know why.
well. They do train during the week as well. They don't just like go away for a week and come back.
Game. Game shape is totally different than actually
Well,
practicing.
They're professionals.
Yeah,
Have you seen the way we
do-
practice?
do you know what
We don't
position he
practice like
actually
it's a
plays?
game.
No, I'm not having it.
Those
Having
days
it.
are gone. Those
Having it.
games, those days where you practice the way you play, they don't do
Not
that
having it.
anymore.
Do you know what he really is, Stan?
I'm not having that.
You
That's
know
like-
it. You
How
know it.
comes Tomiyasu 1 week he's a right back, the next week he's a left back, then he goes off to Japan, he's playing as a centre back. Players
Last
can
week,
adapt.
you've seen him last.
Players can adapt. They're not wed, look
BX
at the
said
Timber. Everyone said
Kivior will
earlier,
slot in
everybody
fine.
earlier said they wanted Timber to be in their starting 11 for the rest of their lives, playing in a position that's not natural to him. He's a right back and a centre back traditionally. We tried him at left back for 38 minutes. Now everybody, do you see what I'm getting at? You know. So what is it? Which one is it?
The chat box is saying
I
Kivior,
went with Kivior.
Kivior could step in and do a job there
I
if
went
needed.
with Kivior instead of
Saturday.
Timber, Stan.
It's no different to having 4 defenders and then saying, okay, for the next game, we're going to play 3. And then all of a sudden now it's a different formation, but you're still defensive. You still know your teammates. You're still training with them.
Your centre backs.
Like you just said,
Left centre back for sure.
Mhm.
like you just said, Stan, you named his positions, but Kivior's position is defensive mid. That's his position. But we have him playing as left back or left center back.
You're a right winger. You get picked for England, and then Gareth Southgate wants to play on the left. What do? You say, "Oh no. I only play on the right, mate." So it's not going to work. You do it.
Yeah, and look, I think if there's an injury to Gabriel Magalhaes, and we don't want that to happen, that
No.
Kivior could step in. He's got the confidence to do it now. Yes, I agree with you, Gary. You need to have a few games to get up to speed, but Kivior now has been performing to an extent that I'm dispensing with Zinchenko, Tony.
There's one thing you
Good
definitely
man.
don't do, right?
Yes.
You definitely
don't hear
don't
that, right?
play.
What did I not do?
Alonso would
Right.
be pleased to hear that as well. He'd be very pleased.
Right.
Yeah, but he likes Gabriel Magalhaes now. Tony.
What? Fuck.
Tony, I'm waiting. Come on.
I
Don't
forgot
have
what
all
I was
night.
going to say.
We only have one more hour left.
I was trying to remember what were we
He's
just
turning
talking
2
about?
hour shows into 2 hours and 30 minutes, Gary.
Come on, Ray. We went through. it.
Everybody,
Four
you can
hours.
fast forward 30 seconds right now. If you're watching on playback,
We're talking about rotating players. At least that's
Yeah.
that's the last thing I said. Stan says it doesn't matter.
Not at this stage, not where we are now.
we're 11 games from the end of the season with a title still in the balance,
Oh.
a title challenge.
What-
still
what
in
You know,
the
we're gonna
And
play
then you're
someone.
going to tell me last season we lost Saliba, and that was one of the Achilles heels for the season for collapsing.
but
And
Gary,
I'm
we're
going to tell you,
making
if you had rotated players and you had somebody able to come in,
we're making
you're
the
confident
changes
with,
now,
then-
Gary. After
No,
we can
60
both get our
minutes,
way, Gary. We can both get our way. We can start with our strongest team.
Yeah,
But we've got 5 substitutions in every match. You know, if
We
we're
don't use them
doing
the way
really
I
well,
want. Yeah.
if we're doing really well, we can bring those people in to give the get the blood pumping.
That's the only time they come in.
But the
Stan.
subs-
But what I
subs
don't want
aren't
to
coming
do,
in
what I
now.
don't want to see, what I don't want to see happen is we're playing a game. We've got 100% fit Declan Rice, and we say, you know what, we'll just give El Neni this
That's
game.
not what I'm saying. You're taking it all the way to left field, dude. That's
Well,
not what
you
I'm
know, you know what I'm
saying
like.
at
Right.
all. Not even close.
You said
That's not it at all.
Ray, do you know what we don't
I'm
do?
not, that's not what I'm saying. You guys
I
are
know.
just gonna
But
go
you know,
run
Alright.
with this thing.
You're
I'm not
taking it
saying
too.
that.
We can
I
both agree
remember
one
it,
way,
Ray.
We
Can
need
I
to use
say
our
my
5
name?
Yeah, just one
substitutions well.
second. One
If we use
second,
our 5
Tony.
substitutions well, we can still get people involved.
I'll put this one to bed here. Okay, 1 second, Tony. The question was if Gabriel Magalhaes gets injured, could Kivior step in? I think it's
Yes.
been decided Kivior could come in and do a job. Having played games at left back, he could move 10 yards infield and do a similar
Is it the
job.
same thing?
Yeah. Yeah. In this team, Gary.
So Zinchenko could move into
In this
the
team.
center back because he plays 10 feet away.
Gary,
It's not,
in this
it's not the
team.
same. It's not the
Yes.
same. It's not the same. If it was, they wouldn't
No,
call it
I
center
didn't
back.
say that. I didn't
Look at-
say
look
that.
at
I
Stefan's-
said he
look at
could do a
Stefan's
job.
comment. Look at Stefan. Ladies.
I said that he could do a job, Gary. I said he could do a job. Stefan, we actually enjoy arguing a little bit like this. So
Yeah.
we like to go there from time to time. I remember West Ham game 3-3.
We should be
when
drinking
we talked
shandy.
when we talked about the responsibility of one player over the other. Gary and I got into it. It was a West Ham 3-3 game. I remember that one. Maybe Gary's forgotten. I remember it.
I don't. It's so many victories. So many victories.
I remember my victories, Gary. Thank you.
There's so many victories. you remember yours. You had like one, maybe.
You always
Maybe.
remember your victories. Happy birthday, Tony. Happy birthday again.
Does Tony remember his question, or did we like?
Benjamin
Yes, I
Button.
did.
Did we
Go
talk
ahead,
long
Tony.
enough to where he forgot it?
Do you know what you definitely don't do, Ray?
Riddles. He's a riddler. That's what he is.
You don't play Partey as right back and pull
Okay.
legs out.
All right. We're going there, right? I'm ready for this one, Tony. I'm ready for this one.
So you want to fight me, right? That's why you said
no,
my name.
no.
You said my name.
I'm confusing you. I'm confusing you with Tony.
What? Thanks. Thank you.
Hey Gary,
Tony, I'm sorry, dude.
support where I was going.
I knew where you're going here.
Tony, I don't know
Tony,
where
I'm
you're
ready.
going. But let's
Okay,
see.
Tony, you ready? Ready to do this?
Yep.
Partey played right back because we had injuries at the back, and Gabriel Magalhaes his head was turned about Saudi Arabia.
His head
fact.
wasn't turned.
That is a
Arsenal
fact.
might have been looking for
It's
money.
come to light recently. It has come to light recently that was the situation in the summer, and Mikel Arteta could not play him.
You've been
because
saying
his
that
head-
since the beginning of the season.
Well, that's
right?
what I thought it was, and I was confirmed. It's been confirmed.
So was
is the
the
case.
deal breaker that our striker that never played striker we sold for 40 million?
No,
that-
stop switching around. Stop going all over the needle. Stop moving the needle everywhere now. We're talking about Thomas Partey. You want to talk about Thomas Partey? Right? Now, right or wrong, here's what happens. Hold on, Tony. Here's what happens. Every season, players go out and players come in. We were trying to find the balance in the team, a new way of playing. And Gary doesn't like it. We didn't like it at the time. Thomas Partey was the chosen one to play in that inverted right back role. And yes, it puts more miles on his legs, and it probably maybe contributed to his injury this season. Who knows? But that is the reason why Thomas Partey played as an inverted right back for 2 games. I think it was 2 games in the season at the beginning of the season.
Gabriel Magalhaes missed the first 3.
He missed 2.5 games. He came in the 3rd game.
It doesn't
Right?
count, Ray. He starts. He's the starter.
All right, I'll give you 3 games, but that was until the window closed when the Saudi Arabia thing went away and Gabriel Magalhaes stayed.
Or was that the fact that we sold Ballo again?
Don't tell me.
We're
We're talking about Thomas Partey at right back.
We're talking about Thomas Partey right back.
There you go.
And he's trying to move the needle to Balogun now. How do you do that, Tony?
No, you said we were going to sell mega legs. Was that a deal breaker? Did the 40 million say,
No, I think we all suspected that Eddie Nketiah would be kept on the books and Balogun would be sold. You know, Gary and I went to the game in Manchester again at the MetLife, and we were talking. Probably Balogun. We thought Balogun would play. I thought Balogun would play. Can't speak for Gary, but I thought Balogun would play.
None of you thought he'd be sold for 40 million.
Close to New York in his hometown, that he would play a friendly, but he didn't get to play. So that's the history lesson, Tony.
Isn't it, Tony? It's like a WWE going to Chicago and there's no CM Punk match. You know what I mean? It's his hometown.
That's when you know his. That's when you know his career is probably done with that company.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's what happened.
You don't change your winning lineup simple as, and I don't think many of the teams.
I am. You guys gotta slow down.
Use the subs.
We need to have rotation.
Use the subs.
Is it about that time? No, it's not what I'm saying.
It can happen after 60 minutes, though, right?
I'd even go as far as to say about using the subs as well. You know, if you're comfortable, why not blood one of the youth players? You know, if you're 5-0 up and there's 15 minutes to go, I'm just saying in general. Yeah. You know, I'm saying like the Sheffield United game. Sorry, I mean I was surprised that Elm Smith-Rowe didn't get a cameo in a game like that. You're cruising. There's nothing expected. Are these not the games where if you do have a youngster on the bench? Isn't that the time to give him some minutes when they can't let you down? They can't cost you the game.
Yeah,
you know.
But think about it. Which sub in that game did not make any sense? You know what I mean? Because I kind of look at it that way. Like in that game, you know, particularly what sub did not make any sense? No, because he's coming back from injury as well, right? Jesus coming back from injury as well. All right, Partey coming back from injury as well. Trossard and Jesus coming back from an injury, right? So 4 players coming back from an injury. Trossard came in for Rice late in the game, which may have been because you know what? You've already got 4 new players in there coming back from injuries. Let me bring back at least one of my Trossard should come in every game as far as I'm concerned. He's for me, he's our Jota. Maybe not scoring automatic score every time, but just the player that comes off the bench and you know he comes off the bench. That's Trossard for me, right? If he's not going to start, he should be one of the first ones off the bench when you're rotating your players in and out the lineup. So for me, 4 players, all 4 of those players potentially, as you can tell from Arteta's what he's done. I always say I look at I take what I see and I use that as my proof. Those are players he probably wants to play. We know Jesus, Partey, and Cedric. Oh, Cedric came on. See that one there? That's the one. That's the one that just. That one just. That one makes no sense.
Did it come on for Ben White? Was that a like for like? That's just to keep shape, then, isn't it?
Yeah, but come on, no.
I bet even Cedric, when he saw his number go out, he's like, "Really? Oh man!"
It's like I was chilling out here eating my snacks.
Are you waiting for my
over here? I'm doing Candy Crush.
A cold Monday night in Sheffield. Well, can we do it on a cold Monday night in Sheffield?
Right. I have a checkmate for Gary.
Clickbait.
Checkmate.
Oh, checkmate. You guys play chess?
I don't.
I
Tony
can
doesn't
do
even
it
know what chess is. Come on.
I can do it in one move. Do you know what it is?
That's impressive.
He can win in one move. All right,
first.
Nah, I just jump for.
See, we're playing chess. Tony's playing checkers with a.
I'm playing
king with
chess.
with one of those.
Tony's playing snakes and ladders.
Are you ready for my?
Yes, let's hear it.
We're always ready.
3 years ago, Gabriel's first.
Oh
no!
Dude,
we had 31 different. We had 31 different lineups of
Play
the back
this.
four.
Play this when your
31.
kids, when you're putting your kids to bed. Play this one. It'll put them off to sleep in 2 seconds.
Right.
There you go.
31
Rolex.
changes to the back four.
What does that have to do with the price of oil today?
It didn't
Along-
fucking work, Gary. So no rotation.
What is that
Checkmate.
supposed to mean? I don't. What?
Checkmate.
3 years ago in the kingdom of
So
our
a long time ago, we did something we shouldn't have, right?
What did we
'Cause he
do,
didn't have-
Tony?
31 different lineups at the back four.
Oh, okay. I want you this season, Tony. I want you to come up with some great narratives. So in 2027, we're talking about 2024. Okay.
Okay.
I want to be talking about 2024 and 3 years from now. Right? That is your mission, Tony.
That's my mission.
Me and Captain Norway and Arsenal will be sleeping in the same hotel tomorrow. Soak that in, Viking power. Erdegaard.
I could just
Hide.
imagine
Hide,
waking up in
Erdegaard.
the
Martin,
morning.
hide.
Odegaard's alarm going off in the morning. He wakes up and looks around, and there's Moss wide awake looking at him.
Moss has got his tea, and he's just like,
Arteta, Moss, I hope you have a great time, but don't upset our captain.
I know. I mean, you're talking. Yeah. I mean, this sounds a little creepy, Moss.
Me and Captain Norway on Arsenal.
Yeah, don't sit up till 3 o'clock in the morning playing poker with them or anything like that. We need them sharp.
Yes, yes. Tony's logic. Love Tony's logic. Moss with tea. He was on the whiskey the other night. Listen, I hope you have a great time over there, Moss. Bring back bring back 3 points, and I think you may be going to the Porto game as well.
Make sure as well while you're there you get a kebab. Chili sauce. Proper doner kebab.
Yes.
And wash it down with a can of Tenant Super. Trust me.
Trust me, someone who knows. Okay, so we're 20 goals away from 43 conceded from last season, Tony. We're 20 goals away from scoring 88 goals again, which we did last season. And we've got 11 games to go to do all of it.
What did that outlook look like 7 games ago, Ray? How many goals and
Why don't I want to look at the negatives? Can we go trend? Let's go trending.
Because that paints you a picture of how good the team is. Because Mr. Arteta is that have Jesus started?
All right.
Hey, look. Think about it. We've got what 11 games left to go, right? 11. We got 11 games.
11 games left. Yeah.
Right. We just scored 31 and 7. Right.
Yep. 31 and 3.
7.
Yeah, and 3 conceded.
We just scored 31 and 7. Right. I didn't say the and we only gave up 3
Would those
goals.
happen with Jesus?
Stop talking.
Were we winning 5-6-0 with Jesus?
Agenda. Tony's agenda.
What does your comment have to do with anything I had to say?
If Arteta had his
I can't believe
way,
I'm risking the relationship with my missus for this. I mean,
Stan, save. If you need to go, Stan, go.
Gary.
Be on my side at all, are they? I mean, they've got
This
video
is not
evidence.
worth it. This is not worth it.
Gary.
Yes, sir.
This is a prime example of a happy accident. Our stats would not look very good. They'd be down on what they were last year. We'd be way trailing in the goal difference if Jesus was out there. Because what happened last year? Jesus is out. We start scoring 4 to 6 goals a game. This year, Jesus back out again, 4 to 6 a game.
Yeah.
How many 4-0, 6-0s have we had with Jesus? Not a fucking one.
Not many. Tony knows.
No, Ray, it's not. The answer isn't not many. It's not a fucking one.
Yeah. Tony knows because if Arsenal win 4-0, he gets a visit from a guy with a mask. Right?
No, we got 2 4-0s. That Arsenal luchador didn't show up for 2 of those.
That bastard.
No, nudge.
Not good enough.
Well, we shall see, right? Our Terry doesn't really have to change anything, but
Right.
as we all fear he might.
Word
But
bubble.
can I get back to what I was going to say, anyways? Because
Yes.
Tony
No.
just decided
Oh.
to just no.
Does
no.
it have anything to do with Kivior or Gabriel Magalhaes?
You know what? It has to do with stuff that's happening right now, so it might blow Tony's mind.
Do it.
We just went on a 31-3 goals for and against in 7 games. We got 11 more to go. If we do what the same,
Was this by design, Gary? Come on.
Mossegard.
You have to remember Jesus is coming back
He's
to the
definitely
starting
good on the
lineup.
sauce.
Jesus is coming back, Gary.
You need some of that HB sauce, Moss. Who's coming back? Jesus. Okay, Tony. As Gary said, in 7 games we scored 31 goals. Now, does that make our season look better, or does it show that we're improving?
We haven't improved because Arteta would have went with Jesus, and we wouldn't have had the goals or the goal differential.
Oh, so
you
we
know,
have
and you
not
notice
improved.
because what you went back in time and like Suhan
I
and
saw
changed
him
things
fucking
around.
last year, Gary. We could have played Vieira. We could have.
Oh, very tempted. Very tempted.
Could have played Trossard.
Very
Right.
tempted.
You know what? You go in a sin bin on the other show.
Get him angry, and then I can mute him in mid.
Anytime he
anger.
goes back in time, just sin bin.
All right.
Talk about
Ross has
today.
already had done 2 donors. Already
No,
2
man, not
donors.
shawarmas and not falafels. Doner kebabs. That's what I'm talking about.
Is Donna shawarma something else?
I don't think shawarma's
Tiger Gunner is here
like the
for
wrap
the
thing,
history
right?
channel.
We're talking kebabs, right?
I
And
thought it
you
was
must
chicken
wash it
shawarma.
down. The important thing is though is washing it down with a can of Tennant's Super.
There you
That
go.
is it. That is
Wow.
you're living it. You're living the life if you can do that. You're just living life.
You're sure made up for not using a kebab very much during the past year. You're like,
All right. So listen,
because it used to be your innuendo.
Tony, do you think we're stat padding now? Is that what you think we're doing?
Stat padding.
This purple patch of
It's false because it's not what the manager would pick. It's a happy accident.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So
what evidence do you have to say otherwise, Ray? You got Exhibit A from last year. You got Kivior that you bought. You have Trossard that you bought. You seen what Trossard did, right?
Yep.
You seen it help the team. You seen it start getting us 4 to 6 goals a game. And guess what? It happens this year, and the same thing happens. But
all right,
what
history.
did Arteta do? Here's Jesus. So
all right, so we're gonna find out. Jesus may play some games, right? But if you're telling me he's gonna start the majority of the remaining 11 games, is that what you're doing? Is that what you're saying? He's gonna start the majority of the 11 remaining games.
yes.
Okay. We'll keep tabs on that. Starting on tomorrow or Saturday at Brentford.
Let's see
There's
what
11 games. There's 11 games left, Tony. I'm going to document if Jesus
He
starts.
likely will play because we're probably gonna need him against
For
Porto, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
But does that mean he starts, Gary? It may not mean he
Well,
starts.
it all depends. If he can start, then he'll start. Is kind of how I'm gonna leave it. You know what I mean? Like if they're like, I don't think he should because I don't think he can just go from like whatever 15 minutes or whatever. What did he get? He got actually 25 minutes in that game against Sheffield United, which isn't much, and then he's going to play at Brentford, who even if they're not, their back line is missing many people, I believe. So will he be ready for a Porto that's going to come out wanting to try and get that second goal? You know, because we're gonna need to press, and when he's healthy, he helps with the press with Erdegaard, right? Like when that press is going, he's up top and he's healthy, yeah. But I don't know if he's at that level yet. You know what I mean? So for me, I just assume he's not going to be ready for Porto.
I definitely think he'll have a part to play in the Champions League game. I think he'll play 20,
Yeah, I just don't think he can
30
start
minutes.
and give us what we usually get out of him, and when he's healthy, right? Like he needs,
Well,
like you look at you saw our press, right? Our press has given up what 7 shots on target in the last 7 games or something like that,
yeah, something
right?
crazy.
He's not. Is he part of that? He's not. When he's healthy, he could help with that, but I don't think he's there yet. Not,
Yeah,
and as you said, his mentality wasn't right
I
getting into
think
the box. He's like not even looking to shoot, and we know we can. We know we can shoot. You know we
we
should shoot.
we we don't need him to start in that Champions League game. It's just his pedigree. People will say he's a champion. He's perfect for the Champions League. I think if he gets 20, 25 minutes, Gary, on Saturday, that he will play a bigger part against Porto. And, it's interesting how we're going to finish off these 2 games at the beginning of March. And then we go to the interlull. And the 31st of March will be Man City.
The fifth interlull, right? 5 of them.
Yeah, let's not get started. Let's not get you started on that. So there's a few things we cannot mention about Arsenal because it triggers Tony. So we have to avoid international games as a trigger. Anything else to say about Brentford? Want to have a quick discussion about some other teams in the league and get out of here? Anything else to say about Brentford or the Liverpool City game?
You know what I saw when I saw Brentford play last. I don't know if it was which game it was, but Tony to me didn't look like he looked like somebody who had been sitting for a while and was a little worn down. He didn't look like he had it in him to go out there and play some football. So I kind of
Yeah.
felt like I think like sitting. He needed to kind of come in and out of the lineup to some degree to get his feet, his legs ready and stuff like that. So we'll see how he looks this time around. But like I said, I think they're missing a lot of players on the defensive side, and that's like blood in the water, right? Arsenal
Yeah.
sees blood in the water; they usually attack, and we could be hopefully saying the same thing at halftime. Who's going to come in at halftime? Hopefully, Emil Smith-Rowe gets some minutes this time around.
Yeah, I think the substitutions look better in the last 7 games because we've been playing and scoring goals, getting goals
It's
early.
because we've been 4-0 up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When does Arteta usually make his first sub? 78 minutes. So he increased it
Yeah,
by
but now
18 minutes.
games are close to 100 minutes long, so you have to take that into account as well, Tony.
I don't care. We're still increasing it, right?
Yeah. So listen, it'll be interesting. As Gary said, Tony is not the figure that he was before. Our Tony is still the same old Tony here. And we should be able to take care of 3 points against Brentford. The Arsenal team should not forget about the situation at hand because it's quite easy to overlook this game and look to the Porto game. And each of the 2 games can't do that, right?
And especially with a team like Brentford. Brentford's the kind of team where it's not like a Luton or a Sheffield United where you're expected to maybe do it by at least 3. And it's not like you're going up against a Newcastle or a Tottenham or a club like that. It's one of those clubs where you can have your day on them, but if you're complacent and you take it for granted, they've got enough about them where they can hurt you.
Yep.
You got to be sharp. You can't be like, oh yeah, we've been smacking people 4, 5s, and 6s. You got to go into this one and make sure that everybody's doing their job, because if you get caught napping, Brentford do have the quality to get ahead.
Yeah, they could nick a goal. They could nick a goal.
Exactly.
And if they nick a goal, we need 2, and then people get a little bit nervous.
If you're playing for Sheffield United and they nick a goal, you should have enough about you to still come back with another 3. Yeah. But if it's a Brentford, they know how to play the game. They can start playing in a different way to start defending that. You know what I mean? It's you got to be on it.
We need to be careful because the talk about Ivan Toney at Arsenal was recent, and we've pivoted away. But Ivan Toney would probably be motivated to do something against Arsenal.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, right, to
Hmm.
Gary, is that you're sitting there for 6 months and you're like, I want to move. Then you realize you're stuck at Brentford 6 months later.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That's
I
true.
thought Arsenal. You thought it too at one point, right? You thought they should buy Tony
Hey,
last up in the summer.
I thought they should, and I still think that he would be a decent player for us.
Ollie
you
Watkins.
know. Ollie Watkins having a good season. I think he's what, third highest goal scorer in the league right now.
What's crazy is you listen
Aston
to
Villa.
his stats and you're like,
He's
they're
second
not that.
behind.
They're actually not
Ireland.
that bad. Like over the last 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
you know, he's hitting double figures in goals, and you know, it's a similar thing to everybody else that we look at. Though, look, he comes to Arsenal, be playing with a better team, his stats will look better. You know,
Yeah.
Tony.
Who's
You
that?
see the
Tony
same
or
thing.
Watkins? Who
Both
you
of
talking
them.
Yeah.
Anybody we bring in will be coming to
I
a
like
better
Watkins.
squad, right?
But yeah, you should.
Watkins' movement looks like he has more of a. I don't know. For me, I never paid much attention to him to quite recently, and I've been trying to see what he looks like. And to me, I could see him being a good fit for us.
Yeah.
And I think I would maybe prefer him over Tony. I think Tony is maybe a little bit more one-dimensional in how he plays, whereas Watkins looks a little bit more flexible in
He
areas
might
of.
be a bit cheaper.
Some will say
Maybe
Saka
cheaper
is
as well.
one-dimensional, but we love it. So, you know,
Okay.
We'll have to
How's he
check in.
one-dimensional when he can play like 5 different positions?
who?
Saka.
When's the last time he played something else than right foot wing?
It's all going off
Do you
the
remember the
rails.
last
Here
time
we
he
can.
played?
go. Here
Oh,
we
you
go.
remember it?
can,
Oh
Gary.
no, did I just do it? I fell for it. I fell for the
He
trap.
can.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
You
people.
said he can't.
I'm
He
sorry,
can.
people. I'm sorry.
I
Right,
think
right.
I'm
they
sorry.
tune in for it, Gary. They tune in for it.
I'm
Come on.
sorry. I'm
There's
sorry.
at least 3 dust ups every podcast.
Right,
Yes.
right. Can he play left back or
I've
left
never
wing
seen him
back
play it in like
and
3
right
years,
or
so I don't know.
right back or right wing back?
Bukayo Saka is a generational talent that could play multi positions. Yes.
Yeah.
You are right, Tony.
You
You
are
gotta
mistaken,
give him
Gary.
one, right? You gotta give him one, Gary. Let him be right at least once. You know what I mean?
No, you don't get anything from me. It's
Um,
tough love.
I love you
buddy.
too, Gary.
There you go.
Seth,
You have to
so
work hard for it. Not gonna give it to you.
Brentford.
For Mondays, I'm gonna go into free agency, Gary.
Oh.
See if anybody else signs me.
Lawrence was trying to get you a free transfer earlier this podcast.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Where was my transfer from? And
I don't know. You'll have to watch it back.
You don't know.
There was a packet of Walker's crisps.
Yeah, you see that comment right there from Brownie is another reason why Arsenal has been bringing in players that will have value to them even if they left. I mean, if you look at there's something about Vieira that we all see, but we just haven't seen enough of it. Same thing with Kirill. Looks like he's got it right. I mean, those are all the players we brought in. All of them look like they have something, but the guy who's it the player from Coventry who's out there in
Guy Chorus or whatever his name.
Icarus or whatever it's called, right?
Yeah.
Got like so young talent.
That's crazy, though, isn't it? Like he was in the championship last season.
Coventry.
Coventry. Yeah.
He's tearing it up this season in Portugal.
Makes you wonder what scouts didn't see from him in Coventry City that all of a sudden translates. Where is he at? Yeah. Portugal or something?
Porto, or Sporting. He's in Portugal.
No, Portugal, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it makes you wonder what the scouts are seeing, because I mean, a lot of these players, a lot of players that we even look at now come from the.
All right, Stan.
League, right?
Yours. You're leaving.
My missus is cooking the vegetables, and I've got to go and put the pork in the barbecue. So I've got to go and do my bit.
That's sucked. I was ready to just ask you a question.
You'll have to park it for next time.
Yeah, you don't take that question. You'll be divorced. You'll be divorced.
Yeah.
The boss says it's time.
Yeah. All right, Tony. I'll switch it back to the format you like, right? There you go. There you go, Tony. All
I
right.
don't know
All
if
right.
I'm a goalkeeper or striker,
So,
but
Tony,
I don't
all
know.
I can divulge to you is that the transfer involves a truck full of Funyuns and Walker's crisps, and you're going in the opposite direction.
Sorry.
And coconut milk too,
Yeah.
right?
I
Gary,
don't think
so
I don't think Gary drinks coconut water like he used to.
well, I just saw him drinking some of it there, so who knows? So Gary, we're on 19 wins.
Do you know what's gotten neglected? And Gary's finally picked it up again, right?
The bike.
The bike, the Peloton.
How does he know so much about you, Gary?
He's got nothing else better to do with his life. So what I'm doing. He thinks I'm what is it? What's that show called? Is it Dave? I don't know what it's called. No, what is it called? I forgot the name of that. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe you'll remember in a few
This is
seconds.
what
like I
Tony
always
does
do.
to you. He wears you
Yes.
down, Gary. He wears you
He
down.
does. He does. He does.
In the end, you just get tired.
But that's what happens, Gary. You don't give me the point. Now you forget something. So.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Damn it.
Selhurst Park.
Mhm.
Park. All right. So
Ray, did you?
okay, I didn't do it. Did you do it?
No.
No. Oh damn, he'll be back. All
That
right.
was weird.
So
He just like disappeared from us.
Brentford are about 6 points away from the relegation zone, but
Yeah.
they'll need to get 40 points by the end of the season. With 10 games to go, they're 14 points away from that place. Ollie Watkins. So let's talk about Aston Villa and that team. Aston Villa and that team for fourth place. It's looking like an interesting contest, Gary.
Yeah.
That team is 5 points behind Aston Villa.
Yeah. They have a game in hand, so they're
Oh yeah.
If you're gonna, yeah.
Okay.
So they do have
They have a game in
opportunity.
hand.
So yeah. No,
But this is going to be an important game.
Well, yeah, and you know what? They're what 5 teams with 50 points or more, and that's and that's the top 5 right there.
Yeah.
There's I don't think anybody thinks Manchester United or
Man United are
West
6
Ham
points.
will catch up. Will be able to make up that difference to get into
They
5th
will.
place. So
Yeah.
more than likely, it's Aston Villa and that team competing for top 4 spot.
I would actually say, Gary, that with 11 games to go, the gap of 6 and 5 points from those teams would probably tell us that they're going to stay in the same position that they are right now.
Yeah.
Like Aston Villa have been playing well enough to be 4th place at least all season, right?
True.
Yeah.
Unless the only way things will change if there's a big collapse, right? So, yeah.
Which you just don't see Villa doing, at least for top 4.
Still for me, I would have to give Emery the manager of the year.
Yeah.
What
Emery?
What about Ten Hag?
There's multiple players multiple players,
Managers.
multiple managers that
Don't
have a claim for it.
Don't mention.
Here's something. Think about this.
Yeah.
Think about who we're playing this weekend, right? I was just looking at this. Brentford.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3 teams have given up more goals than them. The 3 teams at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, they've conceded a lot of goals. Yeah. 50.
So we just put 6 on Sheffield United, who now has 72. Brentford playing. See, that's the thing. We're playing at home, so are we gonna play like we've been playing on the road lately, or are we like gonna be comfortable playing at home? You know what I mean? And that's the thing we can't do.
We did it against Newcastle.
We can't play comfortable at home. We have to play with the same thing. Oh, look, who Mr. Tom has joined us.
Mr. Tom. Yeah, it is a late one, Tom.
What are you still doing up, Tom? I think you're going to bed.
Well,
you know what? He didn't want to talk to you anymore. That's why he said he'd go to bed.
He needed time to come down from
Yes, from the
having a
Tony high.
podcast with you, Tony.
The secondhand smoke, Tony.
What
Secondhand
smoke?
smoke, that is Tony. That's what he
You
had to
wore him down, Tony. You wore him down.
The man was
Nick-
giving you sin bin timeouts every
Really?
5 minutes. He was in the sin
Uh-oh.
bin.
Seriously, were you bad, Tony?
Yeah, he was dirty. He was dirty and nasty.
I
Dirty
really
old man.
wasn't dirty. It was just,
You were dirty and you were nasty.
Dirty old man.
I got 6 of them.
No, see, no.
You got 6. Like Kai Havertz, he got 6 yellow cards this season.
Yeah.
Gary.
You
know. One at Villa Park and one at Newcastle. I remember each of those two. Yeah.
Do you
Tony.
think, like, I know people have mentioned it before, it's in some leagues, but as you get a yellow card, you go in a sin bin. Yay or nay against that happening?
You go in the sin bin for sure.
I'm saying in actual football, there's leagues that they use with sin bin.
In what? Soccer? Football? Real
Yeah.
football?
Yep.
Okay. No, I'm not in favor of these blue cards or whatever they were trying to introduce.
They
or
can't
talk
even
about.
do the regular job. Now we're trying to
Yeah.
add more onto their plate things.
Make
They
it more
can't even do
difficult.
the regular things. How about we just work on the things that you're supposed to do? He said for his health, the doctor said you cannot
What?
spend 5 straight minutes with Tony for your health. And
What?
Mr. Tom's like,
Actually,
oh, right, I'll figure out a way to make that happen.
but I want to ask the question: does he come back stronger, harder, more difficult
Nothing
when he
changes.
gets released?
You know what? It's how like they tell you the dog doesn't realize how long you've been out the house. That's
Yeah,
like Tony. You cut him off for 30 seconds, you bring it back. It's like nothing has changed. He didn't even realize he
Tasmanian
was gone.
tiger.
He didn't even realize he was gone for 30 seconds.
It's like Captain Caveman, the Tasmanian tiger. The Sinbad was made for Tony. So yeah, we can't take Brentford lightly. They have conceded a lot of goals, Gary. And
Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman.
You know what's crazy? They have more goals, Brentford, than Manchester United.
Yeah, let's talk about that, huh?
Am I
Ten
more
Hag.
Captain
Tony.
Caveman?
Tony, is Manchester United doing it? Is Ten Hag doing a good job at Manchester United?
He's not doing a bad job.
All right. So you are saying he's doing a good job. Okay. All right.
They've lost 11 matches, Tony. 11. You think they're doing all right?
Have they been better since the ownership's changed a little?
Tony, most of the league has scored more goals than them.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Luton has 37 and they're in 18th. Guess what they have? 37 as well.
You don't think things are changed with them having a football-oriented minority owners?
It's not going to change right now because they still have the same manager and the same
Wow.
players. No, he can't fix it right now. You might see it in the summer.
I will tell you one thing. Wow.
You might see a change in the summer.
Gary.
But he's not fixing anything right now.
Gary.
What up? What's up?
They're the only team that have more points than goals scored in the league. They're the only team that have more points than goals scored. Think about that. Right? They have scored less goals for the points they've scored. They have scored less goals.
That's crazy, right?
They're the only team. You know, so they've got some 1-0 wins here and there. They've won a few games, but and they're probably, are they the only team? No, they're not the only team in minus goal difference, but it's crazy. Okay.
It's called they don't have attackers, right?
Yeah. I mean, they have
Anthony. They got Rashford,
Hoyland,
got Martial, they got Garnacho.
Garnacho. They've got a couple of young players. Stefan.
Mr. Tom.
Okay, Tom is off to sleep. Right.
I'm gonna have to do that too.
Have a
For
good
the
evening,
second time.
everyone.
For the second time, Tom's going to bed.
Yeah, we'll wind this up pretty soon, probably, but before the top of the hour here, Gary. Okay, or right about the top of the hour.
I
So,
think Gary's wanting to tap out.
Tony, Unai Emery up against Ange Ball. What's going to happen?
Think Villa's will come out on top.
Aston Villa are going to come out on top. I think so as well. I'm starting to see something in Hoyland, and I think Garnacho as well. You build that Manchester United team around Hoyland and Garnacho. Even Scott McTominay has been pretty decent for them. Bruno's been very disappointing this season. And Eric Ten Hag, I'm sorry, Tony, he's not who you thought he was.
You know why? Because he's not doing what he does. He's doing something else. I mean, like you think a manager who's been working for as long as he could actually implement their style of football on a team with talented players. I don't think anybody thought they have like talented players could not pick up what he's going to do. I think that where did he come from? Where did he come from?
That's not what he was known for.
Where did Ten Hag come from?
Which club did he come from?
Yeah, which one did he come from, Tony?
He knows the answer.
Yeah.
Go on, tell me.
Tell us the answer.
That would be Ajax.
Yeah, what are they known for? He has nothing to do with it, according to you.
Yeah.
But what are they known for?
Yeah.
Developing young players.
Or total football.
And what has he done? The young players are better. But instead he's stuck with players that the team should have sold years ago.
I don't know about the stick. You mean stick with them or play them? Because I mean, getting rid of the lineup is one thing, but to I just think
there's some decent players in the team.
They had huge offers for Rashford. Come on.
Yeah, but Rashford strikes me as Aubameyang, a type of player like Aubameyang, who maybe the best thing for both parties is for them to separate.
Yeah, I think once he doesn't don that red shirt, I don't know, if his career is gonna grow.
I mean, you had over 60 million pounds bids for him, and
he looks like a player who needs a new challenge. And
that's what I'm saying. He should have been gone like 2 years ago.
He doesn't look interested in Man United, and he scored that goal. Against Man City. It was a screamer, great goal. He's got great ability, but he needed to step across that Kyle Walker, for that incident before the Foden equalizer.
You need to get, like you said, stay on that ball and try to score, as opposed to try and get bailed out.
Yeah.
Like when your team is struggling like that, the last thing you should be doing is looking for handouts. Take it to the other team, especially where they were at that point in the game, right? They need. You're
not going to get soft.
Huh?
You have to make it difficult for the referee to not give you a free kick in that situation. You have to make it more difficult.
Well, if he just plays the ball, I think at the least he gets a good shot off, right?
Well, he's still 30 yards from goal, right? He's outside.
Yeah, but I mean, who was in front of him if he gets to that ball? Just the goalkeeper, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ten Hag is a good coach. Well, I don't think he's showing it, Moss. Man United poison Ajax.
I get. And that's the thing. It's like,
but he needs to be stronger, Gary. He needs to be stronger in telling the club what he wants from
that. That's why, if you're a seasoned manager, I think you should be able to command some respect and be able to get whatever you're trying to do across. Especially, like you said, the young players are standing up, and then he doesn't want to use them enough, or he doesn't have enough of them probably. But to depend on Harry Maguire and Evans and what's his name?
Yeah.
the Scott is it Scottish guy?
McTominay.
McTominay, like that.
He's a decent player.
No, if that's no,
He
that's
gets
no.
goals.
Yeah, but what's his job? Okay, so his job is not to get goals, right? So you know what I mean? Like that's not like when his highlight is his goals. That's when your team is in trouble. If you have to depend on McTominay for goals.
I think McTominay in midfield without a Bruno Fernandes. I think it might be time to part ways with Bruno Fernandes.
No, I'm just saying that McTominay playing well for them is not a good sign for the team.
Well, you're undervaluing his quality then because he's showing his quality.
Look where they sit in the league. Does anybody think they are a team that's going to compete for a title with McTominay as one of their leaders on the field?
No, I agree with you there. But
that's what I mean.
But Gary,
he is not the symbol. Right. Like people said back in the day, Xhaka was not the symbol of us getting back to the top of the league, right?
Yeah.
And it took a lot to get us to where we got, right? He's in that same boat because he's on a team that's struggling.
Yeah.
And
all I'm saying is there are 6 or 7 worse players that need to be moved on before you get to McTominay.
That's why him being one of the leaders in terms of performances on the pitch is not a good sign.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he's not like, you know what I mean? Like if he's he shouldn't be one of your top performers on the pitch. He's got to be one of those players that supports everybody, right?
That's where they are. That's where they are right now.
No. That's why I'm saying that bringing his name up in a positive light in that team isn't necessarily a good thing because it's not what they want. They want much better all around him.
Yeah. But being in 6th place now, that's not looking good for them. They'll probably be in the Europa League. Brownie said, I think United at the moment are where Arsenal were when Arsenal were Arteta and Aubameyang. The board supported Arteta, got rid of the big earners, and are now bearing the fruits of their decision. The roadmap is there, but Manchester United are not taking it. Right?
I mean, I think they have enough. They spent a lot of money, and I don't think anybody had.
Arsenal.
I don't think anybody. I mean, a lot of people never thought Bruno was going to be the one for them. He might give them the stats that they want, but he's not a leader for them.
We wrote off Aubameyang's contract. We took a big hit on that. We spent a lot of money with Aubameyang, and we did. In the end, we did the right thing, right?
Yeah.
You know
what I mean? Like I said, I think at that time, the one thing I said is, if you're going to put that money into his pocket, then you got to create a team around him to support him, and we did absolutely the opposite of that.
Did I
get any? Huh?
Did I get any bonus points, Trey, for saying the Aubameyang deal would be a horrible deal?
No, you get no points. No.
I mean, why the fuck do you?
No, I mean,
why do you give somebody a raise that's making $200K plus a 40K bonus every time you kick the ball back in the net? And you're 30, and you're past 30, and you're a forward.
Look at your bedfellow here is Brownie. Your two mates here, Tony and Brownie. They were right about Aubameyang. That's like you saying.
You see, for me, I take it back again. They changed the style of football basically under the feet of Aubameyang. Why did you spend that money on him if he's not going to play your style of football? That made no sense. That's why it was a terrible deal. At the end of the day, it was terrible because they changed the style of football they wanted out of. They didn't want that type of striker.
Gary, that style of football worked with Aubameyang if Aubameyang was willing to work with that style of football.
He is, as you said, a 30-year-old footballer. Now all of a sudden you want him to do something totally different.
Gary,
when he's been making a living, top scorers wherever he's gone, playing a style of football. Now you're saying, no, that's not how we work. We want you to support your midfield and come back and do all these things. And I think that was wrong. And like I said, did it. Aubameyang wouldn't do it. Is what I'm saying.
All right, No, you had just like we were playing that style of football when we faced Man City in the semi-final of the FA Cup. We were playing that style of football. Aubameyang scored 2 goals in that style of football. We were playing that style of football in an FA Cup final against Chelsea, and Aubameyang scored 2 goals in that as well. It's not the system. It was not the system. It was.
I believe it was. So I believe it changed.
It was the player. Aubameyang got lazy after he signed the thing.
Right.
And I think that's what happened as well. And I thought it would happen with Salah, but it didn't happen because Salah.
As I said, I think we're not going to agree on this one, but I think
no,
the style of football was not the same anymore.
It didn't. We always played that style of football with.
We went to a fucking back three. We played.
We played with.
We did not play the same style of football. We did not play the same style of football.
We played a 3-4. Right. We played 3-4-3 with wing backs.
Right.
You changed it up.
You're just saying this. You had 3 wing. You had three center backs back there.
Yes.
The whole other time you had 4.
But the formation has nothing to do with the way we were trying to play football at the time, and we were playing out from the back with Emi Martinez as our goalkeeper at the time. So we were playing that kind of football as well with Aubameyang. It's the player. I believe it was the player, Gary. Obviously, we're not going to agree with on this one, but the player was flawed. Aubameyang was flawed. I am wrong. Well, anyway, we got to wind this.
You're also wrong.
I got to go.
We got to see you, Gary.
All right,
thank
see
you
you guys.
Thank you.
Tony, I'll see you in the next one.
Go check out Gary later on the road trip Saturday, right, Gary?
Brownie, Tiger, Stefan, and Mr. Tom and BX or whoever joined us earlier. Enjoy. Have a good night. Everybody in the chats, thumbs up.
Tony and I will finish this thing, and we'll spin more yarns with Tony. Thanks, Gary.
Did we go get like our 10 minutes of extra time, Rick? Because you said we were stopping at 11.
Yeah. We're about to wind it up now, right? The reality was that Aubameyang lost a yard of pace, and he was getting older. But like many other footballers, he never accepted it.
And what's
cheers, Gary? Nigel, good luck at the weekend. I do not want Man City to win the league. I obviously want Arsenal to win the league, but if you beat Man City, I'll be happy with that. Watching Man City lift another title would not be something that any of us want to stomach. Those who love football play it the right way, and Liverpool and Arsenal do that. Okay, so Nigel, good luck. Tony?
You have all these stats that showed the team did better with a Aubameyang on the left. His final year, we put him in there as the number 9.
Through the middle, yeah.
And it didn't work.
We remember those debates, don't we?
It did not work, did it?
Yeah.
Didn't you put Smith Rowe in there as a happy accident after Aubameyang did whatever he did to get in a row with the coaches?
Yeah, but he had discipline problems.
It was he had rows with he had a bad row with some coach. We don't know what coach.
Row.
We don't row.
You said row. Row is rowing the boat, okay?
Row. Sorry, Frank.
He had a bad row. That the accent you have in over there in Okie? Is that how you pronounce row?
Yeah.
Oklahoma row.
But if you don't have that, you don't have all those Smith. He would have been sacked, right? He was this close to being sacked.
Do you think Arteta was going to be sacked as bad as it got?
Yes.
You think he was on the cusp of being sacked?
Yep.
Okay. So then you think Emile Smith-Rowe coming in saved his job?
I mean, it's not a far stretch, is it, right?
No, it's not. I mean, it's fair. It's a fair point.
because we were poor in the table. We did lucky to get to where we did. So
and we turned it around. And fair play to Mikel Arteta now that he has turned this team around, aided and abetted by bringing in some good signings over the few years, and now we've got maybe our Alisson or our Van Dijk in Declan Rice, in midfield, and I truly believe Declan Rice has been a big difference in this team as well, pushing us forward. And we Tony, we've got ourselves a title race, and Liverpool fans and Man City fans do not want to recognize Arsenal as being a legitimate contender.
We have what fans have been waiting 18 years for, right?
Yes.
We got a replacement for Vieira.
Oh, and Declan Rice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Because he's better going forward than he is in defense. He's a good defender, but he's great going forward.
So, and we have a legitimate title race now. We were there last season. You could have seen the stat that I put up earlier. We hit 93% of the target of 90 points. I know you love me putting up the percentages.
Yeah, but what was your target starting off the season last year? Right? Was it like 78?
My target starting off last season was 90 still. Remember we kept it for 90? Because
I swear you had like 68.
I had it lower previous seasons because we were fighting for top 4 in previous seasons. It was probably 75 points, if I'm being honest, right?
Maybe.
So there you go. Now we're right there with Liverpool. We're right there with City. Liverpool fans and City fans do not want to recognize it, but we are in a title race. Stefan said, "Good to see a title race." Unless you are top, I don't know. Do you not want Arsenal to be there, Stefan? That's why we watch for the stats, Ray. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm here for the stats and things that will point, metrics that will point to us maybe potentially beating Pep and Klopp to a title, Tony.
Yeah, but that wouldn't happen if we didn't have our happy little accident.
I think every coach that does something right, then they become happy little accidents, Any other games?
But how many games would Trossard or Kai got up as the 9 if Jesus wasn't hurt? I don't think it would have been a 1.
I think we're going to watch this one closely, Tony, in the 11 games coming for the remainder of the season. If Arteta favors Gabriel Jesus over Trossard or Havertz, I think we're in trouble. We're not going to score as many goals as we have been scoring.
Yeah, but that's the whole blip. I think that's just a blip. All we gained in the goal differential, all the goals and stuff. It's a blip because it wouldn't happen if he had his druthers. If he had his choices, Jesus would have been in there.
You are very, very confident in that assertion. We'll see, Tony, in May. At the end of the season, we'll tot it up, and I'm quite confident that Jesus will not have started 6 of those 11 games.
How many runs of games did Smith Rowe have after he replaced the boomerang? It stopped, right?
I don't know. I can't. You know the answer to some of the questions you're asking me. You know the answer to, not me. Michael said it would be really sweet to be Pep and Klopp as it's his last season. And it would be sweet for Arsenal to win the league after 20 years as well. And Mikel Arteta delivered it. Mikel Arteta will have delivered it to you. And we will have probably a legitimate chance of winning a Champions League in the next 4 to 5 years, which Arsene Wenger never really pushed the boat out on.
It better be this year because I still don't think our window's that big.
We're still going to, next year, we're still going to be in the top 3 or 4 of the best European teams out there, Tony. You know?
Are you sure about that, Ray?
Yeah, we're going to be there with City. We're going to be there with Real Madrid. We're going to be there with PSG. Bayern Munich.
Are we to do that with Jesus leading us, right?
No. You know we're moving past. You know we're moving past Jesus and Zinchenko, right? You do see that, right?
I still wish he just put Zinchenko out the 8 and solve fucking everything. But
Yeah.
that's a
Listen,
different story.
we're moving beyond Gabriel Jesus. He could be a squad player. He could play right. He could play left. He could play.
But that's why I was asking you.
He's not going to be our striker, Tony.
No, I know that, but this season, if he was back up left wing or right wing, and we've been going with Kai and Trossard, I mean, it wouldn't be a 3-horse race, would it?
No, it wouldn't be. But I would believe that Arteta would have found Trossard and Havertz to be more effective. So we'll know in the next 11 games, Tony.
He didn't do it last year.
Park it right now. Park it for 11 games, Tony. No more talk of this till May 19th, Tony.
What did Trossard do last year?
Listen, we know. We've talked about this. You're flogging a dead horse here. Tiger and Gunnar. I love that we're not in the limelight like last season.
You kind of missed what.
Hold on, Tony. We're closing the show, Tony. I love that we're not in the limelight like last season. But Tiger and Gunnar, if we don't get that lead, if we don't take the number 1 spot, we're not above City and Liverpool on points and goal difference, then we will not be able to get on top of them if we don't get on top soon. Tony, you gotta leave soon. You look agitated.
No, I was just agitated. I didn't get to say my joke.
Is it Easter joke?
It's Easter themed. You said beating a dead horse. I would.
Oh no!
Blasphemy!
Stop it!
I'm about to say it. But I'm not. But I am not putting it out there.
Tiger and Gunnar, I'd love to beat Pep and Klopp. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could beat Pep and Klopp to it? This Arsenal team can do it. This is where Arteta's skills will be tested at this stage of the season. Tony thinks he's going to go back to Jesus and Zinchenko. Maybe not Zinchenko, but Jesus. Our rate of goals will go down if we put Jesus in there. They will stay constant if we stick with Trossard or Havertz, I believe. I'd rather have the league than the Champions League. That's a bold statement. I would probably, if you give me a choice right now, I would go for a Champions League. Definitely. Give me the choice right now.
I think most of us are going to say Champions League because we've been fans long enough to see us win the league.
Mm-hmm.
We know we could have won it last year. We were in the title race.
Yep.
This year, title race.
But we have not won the Champions League, and that's one thing I would like to have Arsenal do. And if I get a choice, it's such a difficult decision because Champions League, we're beating Pep and Man City. We're beating Real Madrid. Premier League, we're beating Pep and Man City, and we're beating Liverpool, So it'd like to beat Klopp and you'd like to beat Pep. But in Champions League, you could beat Klopp and Carlo Ancelotti, right? Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Yeah, I would love both too. I mean, that's a dream season. You win both the Champions League and the Premier League. What odds would that be right now, Tony? 25-1, 20-1.
Who, Arsenal?
Yeah,
we're like third favorite to start the year. So
No, but what would the
idea.
odds be? What would the odds be? 10-1, 20-1, something like that.
No, we weren't that far. At the beginning of the season, had way better odds than that.
Yeah, but if I'm telling you now, the odds for winning the league and the Champions League, it's probably 20-1 combined.
Oh, well, combined, yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we'll today this weekend. I think we're going to have a situation where Arsenal will go up a place, at least one place. Tony, it's mathematically impossible if we win on Saturday. Everything happens with a win on Saturday, a comprehensive win on Saturday, boost the goal difference, as Lawrence says. If it's a draw at Anfield and we win, we go top, Tony, on goal difference, but someone or both of Liverpool and City will drop points this weekend. And we will have 2 or 3 weeks in that position. So we could actually be top on Sunday. I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be a draw at Anfield, honestly.
We should have been at that top a long time ago, right?
Yeah. We fell away. We had a bad defeat against West Ham and Fulham, where we looked nothing like the way we're playing right now. You know what I mean?
But we were sitting there talking about how bad our goal differential was. How
Happy birthday, Michael.
We were talking about how the goal differential. We were talking about how the goal scored was way down. then all of a sudden, happy accident happens, and
yeah, definitely. Tony, thanks for joining us. Lawrence, if you're still watching, thanks for joining us earlier. He did get the enjoyment of having you join him there, Tony, for a little bit. Of course, Stan, who is now cooking on the Barbie, right? Probably listening in still. Gary could be listening to us right now while he's getting some exercise in. Tony?
I think he's went up to the boss's office. So
You're on very dangerous ground. He could be listening to this, and Gary could hear about this. Alonso, too late if you didn't catch us. Well, listen, is he here?
Sorry, Alonso, you're shit out of luck.
Cheers, guys. All right, Michael, happy birthday. We're out of here. Tony, thanks for being here with us. Always fun to have you with us. You are a freaking cult hero here, Tony. You know that?
I have that like on all these shows for some reason.
All right. Let's join us again on Sunday. We're going to have a Kahoot on Sunday.
Oh, fuck.
Download
a chance for Ray to screw me over on a game.
Download your Kahoot app if you want to join us live.
Salhurst Park screw job.
Yeah. See you next week, Tiger and Gunnar. I hope you're doing well in Australia. And we're out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. A win on Saturday with Brentford would be most welcome. It would be 8 wins in a row and put pressure on Liverpool and City for the Anfield game. See you, Tony. Take care.
Yep.
Take care, everybody.
Good night, Tony.
See you Sunday. Good night, Tony.